Good morning. We're live. Oh, man. We're not introductory vibe coding with Jess. What are we doing? We are doing investigating Minecraft with AI on Twitch. Investigating Minecraft with AI. It's a beautiful Wednesday. There we go. Good, done. Building out Minecraft bot. Building more Minecraft bot logic. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It's currently just about to hit midday in lovely Australia. It's a little bit hot in this room of mine. There we go. Cool. We're here. We're live. This is hopefully going to be a pretty chill stream. Today, I actually want to just do some dev. I want to build some stuff. I want to build specifically some more actions for our lovely Minecraft bot. We've been doing some AI and building some MCP server stuff for AI to be able to play Minecraft in a reasonable way. Rather than having to write a whole bunch of code to take actions, we want our AI to call actions at a higher level similar to how a human would play the game. But we need to build actions that actually work, which is more like game AI bot development about what kind of like things you look for, what kind of things you consider, and like what sequence you take actions. And we've got a bit of a course. So I'm going to just jump into it. Today's a dev stream. Today's a chill development, look at a bunch of bugs, find some issues, scratch our heads a bunch and figure out what's going on in the underlying code. I've got some stuff to show, but first things first, we are going to more just jump straight into code. I want to get something running. And to get something running, first off, I'm going to run a command. And what we're going to run after we zoom in a little bit is, we can't probably want the terminal. Maybe I'll put my camera up here. So what we want is we want to run, I think, let's first have a look at package.json and see if we've got something in our top level. Package.json defines little JavaScript scripts you can run. And we're going to run a command, hopefully, this one. Which runs scenarios watch. npm run scenarios watch workspace AI engineering Minecraft simple actions. So we've been building this package, Minecraft simple actions, because when we were vibe coding our first instance of this, it got a bit over the top, I'll say. Do we have that defined here? Where is this? Mindflayer. Block highlighter. Yeah. I wonder if it's set up as a node workspace. How does node set up workspaces? Probably not under VS Code is for running it. That's fine. We'll run it and make sure it works. Basically, we want to run a script, but we don't want to run it in this package. We're going to run it from our top level package, and it's going to go down into this folder, Minecraft Simple Actions. You see this folder here? This is our actual project. This is the thing that we're like working on, but we're borrowing concepts from other experiments that we did before. So we want this Minecraft Simple Actions to be clean, and we want to understand everything that goes on here, and we're going to read the code, and we're going to be very like deliberate about what we put into it. And then for everything else, it can be experiments, it can be stuff that we just set our AI to go and like check and see. It can just be things that we want to verify without necessarily spending a whole lot of time and effort like going through and reading it. So that's the split at the moment. For me, it's about ownership. The stuff that sits under here, under this simple actions little folder, is code we own. It's code we care about. It's code we actually like want to work. We want to understand it. We want to have ownership and authority over it. So if we put something there, we are saying, yep, I agree. I think that's a good idea. I understand it. The rest of it can be more vibe coded, actual vibe coded stuff where we just say, go and solve this problem. I don't care how you do it, right? But if you're making something and it's important to you and it's important that you get it right, you want to have a look at it, which means that you're going to be a lot slower in writing it, which is what this folder represents. Minecraft Simple Actions, that we know what's actually here. We know how the files are organized. We took deliberate decisions around putting things in places. This represents the thing that we actually own in a meaningful way, right? Give me a sec. I'm just fixing my interface. Eee. Don't want to do any of this. Hold on. What's going on? There we go. All right, cool. We're back in stream chat. Let's dismiss this. All right, cool. So that's the plan. First things first, we need to get our scenarios running. So this is where we want to run our watch command, which should run scenarios watch here. This is the actual thing that we want to run, right? And this is going to start a little server. Let's do it from here. npm run scenarios watch. This is going to run a server to, here we go, run. Oh, failed. Why did we fail? This should have run a server, and, we're already in development. Hey, Roddy, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. I literally just started. We are, first off, trying to get Minecraft running at all with our bot that we're going to be using AI to develop. So that's our first hiccup to solve on stream. UI client mod API listening on this. EPERM not permission, not permitted. Documents projects, mine AI, mine labs collection. I think this is file path shenanigans. We will get our codex to go and investigate it, then we'll be on our way. So, hey pandas, how you doing? Oh, sorry, Twitch is in an ad. We're streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, so you may not see each other's chats across both platforms, but I'm in both places. So let's get our little, because I did this in one way, and then I thought about it, changed it a bunch, and I've done it another way. We've got a Minecraft gym, right? Where as we develop like logic and actions that our bot can take, we want it to basically run courses. And so hey pandas, I did this in one way before, where it was like more like a browser environment. And I'm like, well, in Minecraft, mostly you're looking at like Minecraft bots within the Minecraft actual client, like the Java program. So you can add mods that add custom UI and do all sorts of crazy things in Minecraft. So I'm like, well, why don't I use that as my like basically development platform rather than the building out separate web pages? And then it kind of keeps it all in one place, keeps it all integrated. So that's what I've got set up, but we need to get it running. And because I've got two profiles in this computer, when files are created, sometimes they get created with the other user. And then if I switch profiles, then the second user can't access files. So I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. We're going to get ChatGPT to basically jump in and verify that though. And we're going to do that in here. Check this out. File permissions. Can we set ownership? Doop. Oh, no, not hold on. We want to give it the message. Copy and pasting errors into AI has replaced copy and pasting errors into Google. So much more efficient. So much more efficient these days. But yeah, we'll get Minecraft running first. That's our first mission of the day. How we doing? How we feeling? Good to see you, pandas. Good to see you, Roddy. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. It's like the week's halfway over and I feel like it hasn't even started yet. Apologies for not streaming more often. I always intend to stream like a lot more regularly, and then I just get caught up with projects. I bought a server. I bought an Ubuntu server. Well, it wasn't an Ubuntu server. It was just a server. It was a Dell Omnicron. What is it? Optiplex? A Dell Optiplex. Oh man, servers. Like so much fun. One, it's nice to have something that's running Linux natively. Like it just has Linux installed as the main OS because my like Windows here, like my desktop is not Linux because I play games. And so you can run Linux in the Windows, but then if you restart, everything dies. So it's nice to have like an always on machine, and then you can do all sorts of things with it. Specifically, you can run a bunch of stuff that you care about, like your own little databases for things, and you can run it with Tailscale. Have you guys heard of Tailscale? If you've never heard of Tailscale, you should absolutely check it out. It is like the perfect companion to like all of this vibe coding AI madness, where you can run your own stuff and you can connect your devices to it, and then they can access stuff on each other. So if you have a laptop at home running some website or some app or database for you, then you can connect your phone to Tailscale, and then your phone can access the thing running on your home laptop, right? So useful for developing stuff, right? Then you can kind of like keep an eye on your projects on the go. It is phenomenal. So, oh my God, you should absolutely get on Tailscale if you're not already. If you're getting into vibe coding, I feel like it's the logical next step after you like create a bunch of experiments and see the power of it. How much usage I have left? Probably a lot. I've got 81% left on this account, and if we go to Claude, that reset yesterday. I was trying to actually use a lot of it up, but I've got like the whole plan left, so I've got a full week of usage left. One more day, you're at 5%. Well, you better switch to Luna. You better switch to Luna, brother. You've got one more day. You're at 5% before your Codex plan resets, and so you're like, oh man, I gotta preserve this. I gotta make it last. Yeah, they reset us 2 times last week, and you wanted to use it. Yes. So ChatGPT, for the uninformed, has been doing resets like crazy, right? There's a creator that I follow specifically because he's like the reset man. Thibaut, the Sodiox, this guy. You follow this guy, and he'll just be like, where is it? He'll be like, no, that's just information. What's your slash goal on tokens and prices? Blah, blah, blah. Energy is high. Blah, 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 blah. Where is it? Man, he hasn't done a reset for a while, actually. Oh, yeah. Cross that 15 million. Enjoy a nice reset. Then before that, he'd be like... I've reset usage limits for all paid users. And I'll just scroll down and look for reset. I asked Codex to pull up some stats, and I receive on average 1 DM or email every 6 minutes or so asking for a reset. reset. But the thing is, like, he'll like reset your plan to full. And so if you know a reset is coming and you know it's coming before your plan is up, you can just go crazy and like, you know, put super fast on, put the best models on, put on ultra code, and like use as much usage as you can because it'll be about to reset, right? So if you follow the people that tip off that a reset is coming, then you're like, cool, now I can use a lot. Then they'll reset. They reset like 7 times over the past like couple of weeks. And so you got like a lot more usage. But yeah, like here, when they hit 10 million, he's like, yo, we got to 10 million within a week. Here you go, reset for paid users, right? Problem is that like your resets often don't come when you're like at 0% and you would need it, right? Like if you use up your whole plan's quota within 3 days, and you're like, well, a reset now would be great because then I can use my, you know, next whole like plan's quota before it was going to reset anyway. That's great. But often you get a reset when you're like not anywhere close. Like you've used 10% of your weekly allowance and then they reset and you're like, And so then you're in this weird mind game where you can like, you'd be like, oh, maybe I should use more AI now in case they do a reset so that it's better value for me. And then you use it and they don't reset. And you're like, crap, I'm out, right? And this is exactly where Panda's at, where he's like, reset gaming. That's a whole thing. This is like a thing people are like, you know, thinking about in the back of their minds. Yeah, exactly. Worst case scenario, you just wait until your plan resets and then you keep going. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely a thing. All right, cool. Not on ownership. We have full control. 2 stale junctions, libraries, and versions. I Oh, cool. All right, cool. If we just run that then we should be good. Junctions. Why are we creating junctions? Junctions are like Windows versions of like soft links, I think. Which, if you don't know what links are, basically like files are overpowered. Like AI just runs on files. The whole world just runs on files. Files are interesting to look at because like you've got a file, it's got some text in it, or it's a binary file. Like that's it. That is all files. A HTML file is just a text file. A Excel file, I think, is binary format. A PNG is binary format. A CSV is text format. Like you've got like two types of files. That's it. Unix lets you create like virtual files, so you can create a file that is just another file sitting somewhere else, and so you don't have to copy files, but it is the same file. Windows has this other thing of junctions, which are a lot messier, and so it was using those for some reason. I'm not sure why it was using those. I should probably look into that. But it's not my focus right now. What is my focus is joining this world, because we've got it started. We're running test watching. You'll be sleeping for like 12 of those hours tonight. Pandas, you catching up on your weekly sleep. Sleep once a week. Get ready to not sleep for the next week. Bot dev 1.2, 1.4. All right. So this is our little like dev server we're going to be using to test our game, which 1.2, 1.4 has ended up a really weird choice because this is the first like version of Minecraft where they changed a bunch of shit that has broken Mindflayer primitives that I require. So part of me building this bot on this particular version has been dealing with the fact that things changed and some things don't work from this version, which is also good because I get to learn more about the libraries, but it also slows down the overall velocity of making these changes. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab our address that we got from our server starting, this one, 25565. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to say this is our, what do we call this? Gymcraft. We'll call it Gymcraft. No, we won't. Why can't we? What is this? 127.05. Okay. We still have that. Let's get rid of this then. Boop. 127.001.255.665. That's our server that runs Minecraft. And here is our gym. You see this? That's a little gym. Sorry, let me put it back. There we go. So this is where we'll run scenarios. Our bot is very simple at the moment. He has one action. Let me change the UI scale a bit too. Video settings. Let's put this down to there we go. Put it 4. So we have one bot. He has one mission, collect like the particular block in front of him. And so for this one, he has to collect copper. And then if he collects the required number of copper, he passes. That's it. This one is for diamonds. He collects the diamonds. Hey, Mers, how you doing? It's been a bit. It's been a hot minute. Hope you're well. Hey, Code Hakase, how you doing? How are you doing? We are just starting. We're starting to run our. We're running our trials. We're running our tests. We're making sure our bot can actually do basic things. First thing I need to do is I haven't played on this profile on this instance for a bit, so I need to copy the new. Can you copy the latest mod into our active instance on this user 1.2, 1.4, please? So we'll put him there. The second thing that we're going to do is I'm going to switch OBS because now we've got our little bot running. We're going to switch between this one and this one. So even if we switch off Minecraft, we still want to have it running, but I need to adjust this window a little bit. Let's move this over here, put this down like this. So then you can watch our bot run in courses regardless of what I'm looking at on screen. Cool. So there's our bot going. I I have spent far too long getting our bot to do what you're seeing. This shit. Collect some blocks, don't get stuck, don't miss anything, go and get the drops, and do this in a reliable way. With code I can understand. The code I can understand bit took way longer than getting AI to write the code, because you sit down, you look at the code it writes, you reason about what it's doing, you think about it, and then you're like, I don't like it. I don't think the way it's doing it is very good. And then you go back and forth. It was doing well before. I did a whole stream where I had 3 of these bots playing the game, and they were doing all sorts of things. Problem was that it was all completely vibe coded, and there were like small details where they would get stuck. And then you're like, what the hell? And then you tell AI to go and fix it, and then it goes and like fixes it, and then there's another small problem. And then you're like, what the hell? And then it goes and fixes it, and then there's another small problem. And then you end up with this code base which started really fast and was able to do stuff, and then just starts slowing down like molasses because of these small things that AI like guesses at or works around or gets wrong. And then you can't make sense of the code because it wasn't written for humans to read. And that was the biggest problem, is that as a project, if you want to have ownership over what's actually happening, you want to understand the code, but you didn't write any of it, you didn't even read it, you didn't even look at it, like, then it stops being as quick as when you started and starts slowing down, right? In a big way. So that's kind of where I got to. And there was just like a lot of mess, right? So a common thing will be like, you ask for some feature, right? You're building something with AI, and you're like, AI, can you do this? And it's like, sure, of course, right? Easy. Just ask AI to make it better. No mistakes, right? That's the common idea. Or just like, AI made it, surely it will be able to fix it. The biggest problem I find is AI ends up being very additive and like not reductive that much at all. Even if you ask for stuff, because you say, all right, AI, add this thing, right? AI is like, sure, bro, I'll add that thing for you. No worries. Let me just get onto that right now. And AI goes off and it implements this feature you've asked for, right? Later on, you're like, AI, why is it all so messy? Can you clean it up? And it looks at all of the stuff that's there, and it looks at the tests that it wrote for stupid things that you've asked, and it preserves all of it, right? Because it treats all of the things that it's added as like features it needs to preserve. So it won't go and say like, you idiot, like, why would you ask for something dumb when you don't even use it and you don't need it anymore, right? And you don't even, like, you've forgotten that you asked this thing in the first place, but then it still maintains this thing that you've asked for at one point in time as if it was law forevermore, right? And unless you're close to the code, you don't even like realize what it built or like what it's maintaining. And then it just grows and grows and grows and grows, right? And this is the problem with AI, is it lacks the nuance and context. And if you're far away from the code, it just treats the code as like, I just need to preserve all of it, right? I just need to keep everything here, right? Roddy, am I like building Minecraft with AI? Yes, AI coding agents like creating more problems or bugs. 100%. Like for everything it solves, then it will leave something unsolved, right? And sometimes like when the right thing to do would be to fix some root cause problem, what AI will do to just get it working is assume that it can't be fixed and then work around it. And so it adds all of this crap for like handling things that you should have just solved the root cause to begin with. And this is the trap of just vibe coding and not looking at the code at all, is that you paper over some of this stuff, right? I've got an example of this, if I can run it. First off, did this install our thing? Yes, bot dev 1.2, All right, cool. Let me disconnect this so I can show you what this actually looks like with the latest. And then I want to show you an example of one of these bugs, right? Because I've got a materialized example of something that I looked at. I was like, what the hell is happening here? And then we went back and forth, tracked it down, and came across a bug that somebody had like raised a pull request and it's not merged into the main like 2 days earlier, right? A really interesting bug too. But let's just load back into Gymcraft. Excellent. This is looking more correct. The cool thing about our little, oh bro, a 3-stream streak. Mers, you're my biggest fan. That's crazy. I want to, hey pandas, I want to see what your streak is. Spend some bits. So I've got this kind of like interface now for looking at the runs. And I had this in HTML before, but it's a lot nicer to just have this in Minecraft because you can just watch it like running scenarios. You can press F10 and I can be like, let's go and do iron seam, right? And then I can switch to it and see how it runs directly. You can build UIs in Minecraft mods. You can just draw on the screen. So this could draw whatever the hell you want, which is super cool. These are the kind of things, like these visual, testing interfaces. This is the kind of thing that is awesome for vibe coding because it doesn't matter, right? If it creates a bug or it looks wrong, who cares? It just looks wrong. Fix it, right? This is the stuff where a lot of the code is more throwaway. But for the actual actions, like the logic this bot is running to like collect wood, that's the thing that like I want more control over, right? So yes, Roddy, what we are doing is we're creating, at the moment, bot actions, but higher level bot actions in the form of an MCP server that an AI agent could use to play Minecraft. So if we develop a rich set of these actions and they work quite well, an AI agent will be able to explore the world, it'll be able to gather resources, it will be able to deal with monsters, it'll be able to craft things, and eventually what we want to ladder up to is letting AI beat the game. That's the intention. That's what we want this bot to do, right? But we want to do that in a defensible, non-slop, reasonable way, which means that I'm spending a lot more time learning TypeScript and thinking about the design of the MCP server rather than purely playing at the moment. There are other frameworks for playing Minecraft with AI, especially Minecraft is a really well-known instance of this. The thing I find that they end up defaulting to is they just let bots, so they let AI write code that plays the game on the fly, like write a script that does a sequence of actions in a particular way, which is fine, but no one's beat the game yet with that approach. And there are issues with that approach as well, where they'll get stuck on stuff or they won't have the best understanding of the game, or there's just brittleness in the action layer. There's like some issues with that layer that connects AI to the game itself. And so that's what we're tackling here. We're tackling the layer that AI uses to play the game, right? We're not really focused on building the AI itself. It's not like we're doing reinforcement learning to feed pixels in and get it to take actions. And we're not, building Minecraft, like Minecraft's built. I want to beat the thing that's already built. I don't want to build like another replica of it or anything. We're building this layer in the middle, this MCP server that an AI can use to reliably do actions. And that's the key, reliably, because there's a lot of nuance in how the bots connect to the game and the events that fire and nuances between versions and all of this shit that we want to take care of and just give our bot like, hey, if the bot says collect 10 blocks, 10 blocks will be collected, right? That hasn't been like true. You say collect 10 blocks and it gets stuck on a wall and you're like, what the hell? And then you go and investigate and it's because of some issue with the high level library, some issue with the way that the bot like talks to Minecraft, right? Inherently, this whole thing is it's like a state engine, right? An event happens, like animal spawned or chunk loaded or something, or I want to mine a block, and so I go and look at it and I dig it for a bit, and then I say I've mined the block, and then the block, and then eventually you get an event that says, okay, the block has been mined, here's the drop, and then your bot needs to say, I'm going to go and get that drop. But then you need to say, well, what if the drop fell over there? I need to walk to that drop, right? All of these things are not like they're pretty routine. But if you let your bot have to write code to do that, like it's going to have to write code all the goddamn time to do the basics of how this works, right? So I want to get that right with good models once and then give AI those models. And then that opens up all sorts of fun things. Like one of the streams I did, I'm sure I could resurrect it and do it again, but I'd prefer not to. I prefer to focus on this MCP, is I got the bot to respond to voice commands. And so I'd say, hey, do this. And it would take what I said and it turned it into actions in the game, and then it would go and do that action. That was fucking awesome. That was super cool. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. All right, cool. So we've got our little bot here, and that's good, but I wanted to show you the thing that broke. So I'm going to stop this, and then we're going to run a particular thing under here. do we still have it? Did I remove it? Yes. Yes, we've got this one. So we're going to run npm run data before. Oh, see public this current user. Okay, this one. Yes, this one we can fix. This one, again, file permissions. I don't care about. I don't want to run those commands myself. Fix this. Like these annoying actions are exactly the thing to give AI to do. There is a file permissioning error on my system. There shouldn't be. Here's the detail. Go fix it, AI. Go get it done, right? Those are the things that I don't want to deal with. This is Git's cross-user repository safety check, not a file system access failure. I'm going to fix it. Verify Git can open and rerun it. Yeah. All right. Go on. Go sort it out. Add a safe directory. Yes, sir. Good. Does it finish the switch now? Yep, good. All right, cool. So we've killed our server, and what I've done is I've reverted a particular package. Specifically, there is a package in these that we use here, and it's called Minecraft data. You see this one? I've got it cloned to, where is it? Public documents, this one. I've got it cloned to here. I've got a whole set of folders that we've been working on in a public space. I've got it cloned to here, and you'll see we've got a Minecraft data package. Now, this Minecraft data package corresponds to the thing that Prismarine, and that's the broader ecosystem of Mindflayer, which is the bot kind of layer, the kind of thing that connects JavaScript into Minecraft. And they have a kind of module that provides Minecraft data for everything, right? The big challenge with Minecraft is you've got the server that runs Minecraft, and then you've got the client, that's the Java program that you use to connect to it. But they've each got an idea of the world, and they have to kind of keep each other in sync, or at least the client has to mirror what the server has. Because if the client says, go and mine this block, right? And the block's not there on the server's like, block's gone, bro. Like, the server goes, I can't do what you're telling me to do. And the client needs to update its view of the world, right? And so that's the hard thing about keeping them in sync. And so your client, i.e. our bot, needs to know about the world that it's trying to interact with. And this page is the thing that tells you about what's in the world. What block types are there? What kind of server you're connecting to? How do you make a door? What's the recipe for it? Like all of that stuff are kind of like information or data that sits in this repo, right? So what I did is I just switched this version of this kind of data repo back to what's actually on GitHub, like the real version that all of the libraries use right now. And we're going to go back in and we're going to run our scenarios. I'm going to show you the value of having these scenarios at all, right? So we're going to run it. I'm going to start up our server again, refresh until we get our Gymcraft up and running. There it is. Here we go. Here's our bot, and what we're going to do is we're going to loop one particular thing, and we're going to loop iron seam, right? And I want you to watch closely. Look at our bot. Look at the iron. Now watch him mine it, all right? Mines, finishes. Keep swinging. He swung for 4 times longer than he actually needed to mine the block. And again, stone, no problems. He mines stone, gone. Right? Wow, is your repo public? The MCP server I'm making right now isn't right now, but it will be. The rest of the things I'm showing you, like these ones, are, right? They're just Mindflayer and Minecraft data. You can create bots yourself today. That's been out for years. It's been out for a long time. Really good project, really solid fundamentals. They've taken care of a lot of the problems, like talking to the Minecraft server and giving you little commands that you can run to, make Minecraft bots. So you can make Minecraft bots with it, no problems at all. The MCP server, the intention is, yes, to release it eventually, once it actually works, because I vibe coded the hell out of it at first, and now I'm going back and like redoing it with TypeScript and learning a bunch about TypeScript as we go. So yeah, what you can see with this collector is, he mines iron, but he takes so much longer to mine a particular iron block than he needs to, right? Why is that? Why does our bot take so goddamn long to mine iron? Well, it turns out when our bot gets told to dig a block in Mindflayer, right? The bot does two things in terms of messages, right? The first thing is our bot says you should start swinging your arm, right? Looking at a block. So make sure it can see the block, it starts swinging its arm at the block, and it swings its arm for a period of time until the block breaks, right? But the bot needs to know how long it will take for that block to break, right? It needs to look at the block, it needs to know the time duration associated with that block breaking, and it needs to swing for that duration. Sounds simple enough. The thing is, what happens with the client-server architecture is after that amount of time, the bot sends a message to the server saying the block should be broken now, right? So it actually sends two messages to the server. It sends one, or it probably sends more, but it at least sends two. It sends one to say the bot is now swinging his arm. That's one message. And after a period of time, it says another one that says the bot has broken this block. And that's the second message. If you get the timing wrong, it sends the second message way after you could actually break the block, right? So the bot could send the message breaking the block right now, right? But he's still swinging because he thinks that he needs to break it for longer. And the reason why he needs to, like, he's waiting for so long is because of this package, right? This Minecraft data package is what's used to understand how the time per block takes to swing with the tool that you're using. And so it uses this package as the base. And Minecraft changed the way that they send data at 1.2, 1.4. So at this particular version, they changed the format, and that that breaks our bot. Which maybe that's why it's not represented in the supported list, because 1.2, 1.4 is just above that. The thing is, somebody raised a pull request for this 3 days ago now, I think. 3 or 4 days ago. Door translation, missing planks, validate all JSON schemas. This one? No. Where is it? Duplicate dolphins, copper ore, hardness, resistance. This one? This one, I think. Yes. So this person says, look, we've got this problem in 1.2, 1.11. Block dig time returns wrong values for blocks whose material is incorrect. And so it takes too long to dig things. On vanilla at 750 ms, but for like iron pickaxe with copper, iron, which is exactly our problem here, it takes, 4.5 seconds, right? So you really want to play Minecraft, but it's too expensive in your country? I wonder if you can play it for free. I think you can run the servers for free. And then the client, well, I mean, from CurseForge, you can't run the client for free, but I don't know if you can run the client for free for like server versions. I don't know. I feel like there's maybe a way, because like Minecraft is so close to open source that it's nearly there. But yeah, fair. I did actually pay the Microsoft tax for Minecraft on this one, and it was expensive even in my country, given it's Minecraft, right? Okay. So there's this guy that came along and found exactly the thing that I was running into with this exact problem, is that you swing your pickaxe at the block for ages and then wait. And so he's raised this pull request, which says, all right, like add a set of item IDs into materials for these different things. So like whatever the material is for, incorrect for wooden tool is the kind of material. And so this adds like, iron and copper and diamond and all of these things to all of these versions. And that does fix it. One of the authors of this library did reply to it and kind of offered some more context and detail and said, really this is because they changed the way that data or like blocks are tagged in Minecraft. So we should probably support like a tag-based approach, but this just changes a lot through the library. And so there's been this RFC sitting open since 2021, basically saying, should we change how this library works? So I don't know if that's going to be fixed. Oh, at least like not immediately. So the longer term fix is probably to support the way that Minecraft thinks about data properly across all of the libraries and in this data layer. but at least for now, this is a temporary patch fix. So if we switch back to our actual branch, we can run a version of this, npm run data which, and this will tell us exactly the version that it broke, right? Which is 1.20.5. So at this version, the material changes from mineable pickaxe, where it was happy, and the material changes to incorrect forward and tool. And when it changes to incorrect forward and tool, that's what breaks copper ore with a stone pickaxe across all of the versions, right? So if we switch back to our after version and then rerun our watch, you'll see that same kind of scenario where he's waiting for ages to like mine the iron ends up being, let's jump back, let's put this onto that, and let's put it onto iron seam. There we go. You'll notice that now when he mines the iron, done, broken instantly, because he knows the right time for iron. And it's literally just a timing thing. If the bot knows the right time, he can break it at that time. If he doesn't know the right time, he ends up swinging for too long and doesn't think that it's broken until it's broken, right? And so this is a good model for one, this particular bug, and that it literally is fixed by that code I showed you, like adding some more IDs into the data. And two, how our bot and our client thinks about the world compared to our server. The server knows what's actually happening, but our client, our bot, is responsible for telling the server details you wouldn't expect to. You think that you're just saying, all right, click the button and mine the thing. No. The client is actually doing all of this other stuff, like sending messages like break that block at this time because these conditions are met. Stuff like that. So keeping these models of the world in sync is what Mine Flayer is more or less doing for us. But if there are things that don't work there, then you'll get weird bugs like this, right? And so that's kind of where I've been looking into how this all works and going a lot deeper, and then building a library that takes care of some of this stuff so that your AI doesn't have to deal with those details and can focus more on the things that you want it to be doing, like playing the actual game and considering the things that it needs to consider, right? Cool. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We've got block collection reasonably stable now. Reasonably stable is our block collection. We can kind of collect most blocks across our scenarios. I'll put this on loop all and let this run on a bunch of stuff. We can collect trees, which is good. Especially with dirt, we can collect more of the trees, which is good. I haven't had as many scenarios testing like scaffolding and not scaffolding, and it'd probably be good to add some scenarios around like having some things over lava and some things not. Maybe I'll get ChatGPT to add one. Can you add a new scenario, completely new scenario that sets up a bunch of resources and puts some within range of dropping over lava, and then a bunch of other, I guess, like of the resource, maybe iron, and give him a diamond pickaxe that isn't close to the lava, and then we'll give him just a mission to collect like 3. So put like 3 in an unsafe location and 3 in a safe location, and then see how he navigates it. Can you set up that scenario? And so one of the things that I did with building out the logic for this is we break it up into a couple of different steps, which I spent more time vibing to actually get correct. In collect block, we have a set of things happening whenever we try and run a collection, right? And so in this function, we kind of have the overall logic. And I tried to get this like top level function to be as simply core to what's actually happening in the loop as possible. Basically, while we're short on resources, while we haven't met the number of resources that our bot has collected, make sure that we haven't, broken too many blocks and that we don't run this forever. So we put some protection in place. But then the core loop is really simple. It's one, select a target that we're going to mine. Fair enough. Choose a block that you're going to mine is generally always something you're going to have to do because you can only mine like one block at a time. Great. If you can't select the block because of some reason, stop. And then complain and say, all right, we weren't able to collect the blocks because we had to stop. Second, collect one target. Good, go and get that thing. So choose a block, go and get it. Awesome. And do that on a loop. So this is the main loop that's running. While short, find a block, get a block, find a block, get a block, find a block, get a block, over and over and over and over again. All right, until you've hit your target or you can't for some reason. And that's what our stopping logic here does. And also keeping an eye on like what you've mined and if you exceed any limits. So we've got our progress and we check, and our selection, and we check if that's stopped for some reason. In the collect one target, so actually in select target, this is where I spent a bit too much time probably. We want to do some logic around figuring out like searching for ore within a particular distance. Like you don't want to search the entire map and then run across the map just to get like one block, right? So, put some limits on that. Go and find blocks that are matching the selection. So if you want to look for copper or you want to look for iron or you want to look for diamond, go and find that particular thing. This is where it's a little bit cheaty because it's not relying on its vision. It's just relying on knowing that that thing is in the game, which the client does know. Like it knows all of the positions of all of the loaded blocks. And so if there is diamond hiding at one position all the way down at the bottom of the ground, it already knows that. Like it knows exactly where that diamond is and can just route straight to it. So searching for stuff, which is part of the human experience of the game, is not what this is trying to deal with. So it's actually got it easier in a way for now, right? So it finds that, then it goes through, checks if there's anything rejected that should ignore, checks how much or like how many steps it will take to get to a particular block, this approach cost, which has a couple of calculations here that I tuned a bit, especially this bit. We want a bot, if it's mining in like the desert, to kind of gradually mine up and favor things that are more or less going in an upwards direction if it can, right? And so we give it a bit of a bonus on lift. If you can mine a block close and higher, favor that, or slightly further and higher, favor that. Otherwise, this is basically just a distance thing. So like go and mine the closest block that you can find with some conditions around it. So we use this to figure out what block to mine first, which is important. And then we do something which is like, don't mine blocks where it's going to, drop a stack of blocks on you because that will hurt. And then you don't want that. The last thing that we do here is called, where is it? Dig safety. And dig safety checks that a drop is safe, right? So it basically computes how a block is going to fall. If you mine a block in Minecraft, that entity is going to fall. This position, this does a, what is it? A flood fill. It was a cool name for it. It was like a flood fill search. How far an item can fall. Fluid carries it. Oh man, I forgot the cool name for it. It basically does no, we don't have it. We don't have it written here. It basically simulates what's going to happen if that block were to fall in all directions until it hits like a solid block, and then it stops the simulation there. So you don't like always spend the maximum amount of time for computing where a block's going to fall. And we do that to make sure that a block isn't going to fall in lava or water, right? Water probably could be handled, but it just adds a bunch of conditions and complexity. And so at this point, it's just like, no, just make sure it like falls somewhere like safe and solid. And so we compute both of these things when we're searching for the block to mine, so that it can kind of search the right block. And so if we've added a new scenario here, iron over lava, what I'm going to do is, can you add the latest highlight block mod, separate folder to our instance as well. What I wanted to show you from this scenario is how the bot actually thinks about the world and how it chooses the right block to mine, right? So I've got some highlighting as well in another mod that I will show you briefly. I'm also going to move this down a little bit. Whoa, hold on. I'm going to move our camera down a bit. There we go. So I've got another mod that can show you how the bot thinks about the world a little bit. So I'm going to disconnect this. We're going to quit this again. We're going to completely restart our server here. We're going to wait for ChatGPT to copy our block highlighter mod into the right folder. And then we're going to test out this scenario to show you how this target selection works to make sure that a drop is safe. That's what we're going to do. But yeah. So I've spent far too much time going into the depths of how block collection can and should work. And I've tried to make this as compact and simple as possible, which still resulted in a 1100 line file. And then this action is our sole action in our new human owned package where I've got to be across the code, MCP server that we're going to use to play Minecraft eventually, or like agents, AI agents are going to use to play Minecraft. Cool. So that is up to date. We've got a new scenario. Let's run it and let's see what this looks like. There we go. Ooh. There we go. Cool. So Minecraft it is. Minecraft is up. And here we go. Run this in VS Code. Ooh. Run it, open up our Gymcraft. Here we go. Do we have selection now? Yes, there we go. So you see these block highlights and these path highlights? I don't know if you can see the yellow path highlights, but when our bot makes a decision to walk somewhere or to mine somewhere, I made another separate package that specifically lets you annotate your code to call out where he's walking or what he's mining. So you can see the green and red blocks that are popping up. This is representing different phases of his targeting in his collection. So when it's red, it's like, this is the block I'm going to mine. When it's green, it's like, this is where I need to go and collect the drop from. And then you can see the little yellow path. That's like where I'm going to walk to at any point in time. All right. So this gives us a bit of a view into how our little bot actually thinks about the world and how it's choosing targets, right? With options of toggling this stuff off and on as well. Like we can toggle off the block highlighting, we can toggle off the path highlighting. I found that was a useful feature, and so we built that into a little bit of a mod, right? So these are the things that I'd be very happy to share a lot earlier because I think they're just useful for like game development if you're doing Minecraft bot development. But yeah, we can see how it actually works. So what I want to jump to now is the thing that we just added, iron over lava, iron around lava, this one. And we'll put this on loop 1. So we've got our bot, we've got 3 blocks over lava. If he does the right thing, which he does, he selects this block on the other side of the lava and doesn't mind the ones closest to him, right? And so our bot collection logic needs to just be aware that there's, possibly many different resources in different places. If he were to mine the iron over lava, it's just going to disintegrate in the lava directly under it. And so he has to be smart enough to consider all of the different blocks, think about the geometry around them, think about where they'll fall, think about if they're going to be unsafe to fall into something, and then choose the other ones. And so scenarios like this are exactly the kind of tests that I want this harness, this kind of like gym to get to, so that you can say, hey, this block is making good decisions around not mining unsafe drops because we had to have logic to cater for that, right? Which is sitting in world ordinary drop site under, is it a safe thing to drop? And we check for, don't let anything fall into water, lava, or bubble columns for now, right? So lava is one of these keys, which we say we don't want drops falling into that. If a drop could fall into lava, don't mine it, right? Which will be probably quite useful in the nether once we're up to the nether. But we are not up to the nether. What are we doing today? We are doing a plan. I had a bit of back and forth with good old Codex, and came up with a plan to develop the next action that I want in this package consciously, right? Which is, you've got a bot that can collect blocks. Good. But what if there's none of the blocks that he actually needs, right? And so I had this when I was like, right, I'm going to test this bot in a real world and test how far he can get through the world just collecting blocks, right? And the very first thing that I ran into was that he spawned in a desert, and the first thing you need is wood. And I don't have an action for him to like walk around the place, right? And so I'm like, okay, so he can't collect wood. So I ended up collecting sand a lot with this bot. I'm just like, all right, go and find as much sand, like mine all of the sand in the desert then. So that's what we did. That's what we did first. We were just like collecting sand, a lot of sand. And so the next thing that I actually wanted to add into this package, after he can collect blocks, right? And maybe I'll draw this out a little bit because it'd be good to have a bit of a roadmap for what I want to add. Scully draw. Our bot can collect blocks, right? But this action, general action, is awesome because it lets you do wood, iron, diamond, dirt, stone, materials. Lets you create, like, get all of the materials for many different things. Awesome, right? But if we look at a flowchart of like what you actually need to do to beat the game, or like at least advance through the game, collect blocks, collect wood. You start off by collecting wood, crafting tools, collecting stone with your tools that you've just crafted, hunting sheep, crafting bed, sleeping in bed. This is like our hello world of like a Minecraft bot, right? Because this lets you get through your first night. And we hunt sheep for both food plus wool. So this kind of sequence of like actions, crafting wooden tools. Actually, in fact, we can probably kill collecting stone. This is probably the first set of things that you'd want to do to be able to sleep through your first night, right? If you can do this within one day, collect wood, craft wooden tools, hunt sheep, craft a bed, sleep in bed, you can get through the first night. If you can do these things reliably, and a bot can just call these like commands in sequence, this could be like this could be the 5 calls, or a couple more of the calls, but like maybe this is like times 3. Create 3 tools and collect wood, collect 10 wood or whatever, and hunt sheep a couple of times until you get the wool. But this could be the 4 tools that lets you actually get through the first night, right? And so I want these to be reliable, so that I actually have like a bot that I'm happy with, that can do things in a reasonable way. And when it breaks, I can go and kind of like debug that properly and know where the changes are being made and make sure I'm happy with them being made. When you start looking at the code, when you're AI developing, when you actually like go into the detail and you look at the code it's writing, you will very quickly become unhappy with the code it's writing, because you're like, what the hell is it doing? Why is it doing that? And it'll give you a reason, and you're like, yeah, that's a crap reason. And so this is why I'm abandoning all of the code that it had written before to do our bot, and we're basically like resetting back to step 1, because as I build these things, I want to build them correctly, right? One of the examples of this is collecting wood. PP, what? What are you talking about, pandas? One of the examples of this, like working or not working, is collecting wood. You create an action, collect. And so we've got a collect action already, right? This one, collect blocks for materials, done, green, happy. And let's make all of these, I guess, blue. So this first thing of collecting wood, good, done. We've got an action for it. We are confident we could collect wood at this point until it fails in playtesting. Second one is, well, what if there's no wood? Where is the wood, right? Or what if there's no sheep? Where are the sheep? So like these things then become the next bottleneck is if collect block fails because there's no blocks, how do you go and find more blocks? And so I think the other thing that you'll end up doing at the start of Minecraft is what I want the next action to be, which is exploring to find the thing that you need, right? You need wood, you spawn in a desert, there's no wood. What do? You walk until you find some wood, right? You look out on the horizon, you consider what's available, and you walk to another area of the map where it's got a resource, right? Which means we need Explore Frontier as a conceptual thing where a bot can go on a little hike and it can see different areas, and then it can reason about what's there and probably remember them and know where it's gone, so it doesn't end up just like walking around in loops, right? But then you're into this whole business of exploration. What is exploration? You know, an ability to walk, an ability to remember, and remember what? You remember where you have explored, right? So like a map. You remember where you, what materials were in those places. Have you seen oak? Have you seen birch? Have you seen maple? What things have you come across that would make good materials in this area, right? Do I need sand? Was there sand here? Do I want some food? Were there pumpkins? Maybe kind of that kind of stuff. And then that's an ability to walk where you've explored, what materials you've seen. I thought maybe animals, like what kind of animals were in the area would be a good one. But I think that's maybe a question mark at first that could be added. But like we'd need to get the basics of this right first. And so unlike collect blocks, which is stateless, you don't need to remember anything. There's no memory in like collecting blocks. You do a scan at the time you're looking for a block, you find the blocks that are loaded and you go and get them, right? Everything is loaded, everything is close to you, everything is within the game context of where you are right now in the game. So collect blocks, we don't need to like have any memory. Explore Frontier immediately adds this next thing to deal with, which is how does our bot remember, right? So that's the next thing. And then I think we developed more core actions. And maybe we divide these in terms of like memory, stateful, and stateless. I don't know what we divide. I don't know how to break these up, but I'm gonna more or less divide them up in this way. So I think we've got an ability to collect. We've got an ability to craft already. That's not going to be too complex, I think. We've already got some logic, and it's going to be far less complex than dealing with geometry for collect blocks. We've got, we'll then need to build something for hunting again, or like re-implement it basically. And then we'll do the one for sleeping, and that should get us through the first night, right? Duk, 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 duk. There we go. Cool. So that's the idea, but we're deprioritizing these for now. We want to get Explore Frontier correct, which means how are we going to do memory, right? So we need a memory. We need an ability to remember. We need an ability to retrieve. We need an ability to store, because once you've explored an area, next time you come back to play again, you don't want to forget everything that you've found. And then an ability to move, right? An ability to move. So we need some logic of like navigating around what we've seen before. And so generally your decision is going to be like, you know, I need something. I need wood. Then you're going to say, where is wood? And this is what our bot's thought process should hopefully be. Where is wood? And then your bot should have an ability to like go and retrieve and say, you know, this one, have I seen wood before? Do I know where wood is? Do I know where oak is or any kind of wood? Can I run a query? Can I go and find the block that's in so I can just walk back to it? I know I've seen wood. I'm going to go back there. That is something a human would do. That is something we would do, right? And these memory systems, you kind of need to design them in some way, because AI doesn't have memory. AI forgets shit. The second that you close a conversation and open a new one, it's gone, right? Its context window is yay big. That's everything it can know before it has to compact and compress and go away. It's not a solved problem yet, or it is a solved problem, but it's a solved problem with techniques like, having a database and letting an AI use that database to pull out information, right? So we will need some way to retrieve it, which is going to be this line. And then this is going to go off into two decisions. I know Twitch has got an ad coming up in a second, but that's okay. YouTube, I don't know if they do ads or do them in the same way. So I'll just keep on riffing. So we're going to have two decisions. Where is wood? Yes, I know where wood is. And then you can just say, go there, right? Okay, go there. Second is, no, I don't know where wood is. And this is the more interesting one. Because if you don't know where wood is, you need to explore, right? Explore to find wood. You need to go on a journey. You need to walk in one of the directions. You need to pick whatever direction seems like it looks best around the edges. And then you need to choose one of those directions and then walk in that direction, right? More or less. So, basically, the ability to move and the ability to move relative to everything you know about so far are the two things that I want to build into this bot as like a native capability. So if it doesn't know where a particular resource is, it can go exploring and find that resource. That's the crux of it. That's what we want to build. You better go to sleep. Pandas. Thanks for dropping in. Go get some rest. Let your codex reset. So, okay, go there. I'm going to make this a different color. Okay, go there as a decision if you know where wood is. This is part of the frontier exploration, I think, because we'll build this kind of a database almost of like the places that we know and have gone. So if you know where wood is, if you know where new resources are, you can go and collect them. If you don't know where resources are, then we want to build this exploration capability. We want to build this ability to ask the question about where wood is. And we want to build the memory system, the retrieval system, the storage system, and this ability to move system. See, pandas, sleep well. This is what we want to build for Explore Frontier. Now, what I think is probably the best way of doing this is retrieval could easily turn into a whole bunch of like MCP functions and calls, right? At the moment, our MCP server is simple. We have one method supported, and it's a pretty simple method. This method is described in exact detail here, where we can say the MCP call can accept a block name, a count, an XYZ, a scaffold, so like whether you can use dirt to basically build up as you're trying to collect a block, and if you're happy to collect blocks even if your inventory is nearly full. Like if you've got like 2 spaces left in your inventory and you're like right next to a diamond and the bot's like, it doesn't matter, like we can still collect even if our inventory is nearly full, right? This is it. So this is the only thing that our MCP server offers right now. If we started building methods for like all of these things, like query a particular resource, query around the bounds of the map, query this, query that, we're going to be adding all of this like machinery for MCP requests to be made. And the bot may want to ask questions that it doesn't support. And so I think rather than letting our bot just like giving it a set of methods for getting information about our frontier world, I thought it would be simpler to try and boil this down to like 2 methods, right? One, run a SQL query, an actual SQL query. If we store all of the information about our frontier in a SQL database, a SQLite database, and attach it to our instance, then our bot doesn't need to know all of the like details about specific things like walking here to here and here, right? We just like run a query against SQLite and then get a response. Happy days. 2, then we also want an ability to, like, we don't want our bot to be updating that table. We want that table, frontier table, to be automatically updated. And 3, then we want to be able to move relative to our frontier table. that's the three belongs to like this bit over here, right? We want that database to be automatically stored and loaded on a bot instance. That is our like memory and storage together. So we like knows how to remember and where that's loaded from. So we like make that an automatic thing. And then if we make that the retrieval function, then our bot can ask open-ended questions, like it can run queries for whatever the hell it wants, right? We don't need to add a whole bunch of machinery letting it request specific blocks and validating things and blah, 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 blah. We can just say, oh, run a query, have a look, see what you can find, right? This then could become a pretty powerful pattern for other things. And then SQL is just like AI knows how to write SQL, so we don't need to worry about how it writes the query to get information. We just need to give it the ability to do that, right? So that's what we're building. I'm starting with the data side, right? We're starting with the data side for where it stores data, how it stores data, and what the kind of supported things are. And one of the first questions that you come up against is, if you're storing data around a bot, is it shared? Do other bots that are playing in the same world see the same information? Or is it per bot? Like, is it a personalized memory store, right? Getting the shape of this right early can help in future. And so the very first kind of step that we did with Codex was to start there and think about the data storage layer and how that should be expressed, right? Data storage as a concept within this server instance kind of thing, like this session management that we're going to be doing will have a concept of memory. But it's not always going to be SQL, right? We're talking about SQL because we think it's a useful tech for this process, and hopefully we'll make it simpler until I get into the actual detail and see what the code looks like. I'm not going to be confident on that, but I think it makes sense. I think SQL is a good technology for us to use to like let it run queries against arbitrary things and run searches and stuff. At least it makes a bunch of the like storage and loading and query performance means that's not running in JavaScript, and then our bot can just like think about describing what it wants to get, which is good. But it might not be SQL. Might not be SQL for other things. So I want like a general data type and interface for our bot to kind of express what it's storing and where. And then we want like a more specific thing that's specifically SQL, right? And so that's what we've got here. We've got a file that says, all right, bot data in general. Are you storing it in a shared space, or is this just for the bot itself? In which case we'll need a bot ID. And so that's what this type kind of represents. Then we've got an interface bot data options. What's the parent directory where we're going to put all of the files? Like, where are we storing these things? What's the world ID? Like if we connect the same bot to multiple worlds, memory should be different per world, right? And then we've got a class that represents, a bot data instance. Cool. This is the bot data. This is the world. This is the scope. This is where the data is going to go. This is you can call file, and you say this is where the file for this particular bot with these parameters is going to live. And then this is kind of a generic little helper class that says, when you want to store data around a bot, use this, and then you don't need to worry about too many things. You just like configure it with a standard set of options around scope, world ID, and root. And then you can just get a file whenever you need. So if you want a SQL file, you call file with a SQL database name. If you want a different file, you call it with like a JSON database name, et cetera, et cetera. Easy. Second, we go data directory 4. Here we're saying, where is this used? This is used to initialize the directory. So we say we're going to resolve the root, the world ID, and the scope. And the scope then turns into one of two things. So if the scope is a shared world, we just put it in a shared folder. If the scope is a bot kind of scope, we put it in the in the world directory under a bot subfolder, under a bot ID kind of like name, right? And so we create like a folder per bot that we're tracking. Identity segment. This is where like I'm not. Normalize sounds fun. Normalize NFKC. Unicode normalization forms. And this is where I start seeing things that I'm not familiar with, and then I want to actually like Google them and find out what they are, right? So let's put this on Terra. Let's then say, oh, can I include context? Include context, selection state. Does this include all context? What is this? Can I just ask what is this and get like an answer? Oh, cool, I can, cool. All right, cool. So Codex sees what I've got selected in VS Code, and then I can just talk to Codex over here on the right. Also, I should probably, don't know where I'm going to put my camera. Let's make Visual Studio Code smaller so that I can put that on this side of the screen. And we'll also switch this to our desktop Minecraft build because we've got this running. But if I have this as, yeah, cool. Cool. All right, so let's put that there. Let's put that there, and then you can see Minecraft running in the background, and then I can just turn this onto continuous loop all, and then we'll just let that run through all of the scenarios. So we'll have some Minecraft always running while we're looking at code. Good. Okay. Normalize NFKC. Compatibility composition. It makes visually or semantically equivalent Unicode forms compare consistently. Full width A becomes ordinary A. Ligatures like phi become phi. Commonly used before storing, comparing, or indexing user-provided names / text, so equivalent spellings don't behave as different strings. Gotcha. So doing some normalization, we're replacing special characters. Plus / G. We're replacing all characters with dash. Huh? And then we're replacing that with that. Oh, not. If it's not A to Z 0 to 9 dot underscore or dash, then we replace it with the dash, and then we replace repeated dashes at the start or the end with nothing, right? So this will take like a I don't know what, like this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, dash, dash, dot, dot. And it'll replace all of those like special characters with like dash, 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 dash. And then we'll have like our normal characters, these ones, dash, dash, dot, dot. And then it'll replace all of the, this is what this one means in regex. So this is how we're interpreting regex. These kind of like, this carry symbol means the start of the string. This plus means like repeated characters. And so this pattern matches on these patterns, right? So if we say, I'll show you what this looks like too. If you ever need to deal with regex, or if you ever need to match text, regex is a phenomenal technology for it. And you can use something like regex 101, and you can say, here's the string that I want to deal with. And if I go copy paste this pattern from here, here is the expression that I want to match. And character, start, change delimiter, start of a line. That should match on that. So what we'll say is, no. I'll just say dot star then. Oh, no, that works. Yeah, cool. So what you see is this little pattern matches this set of things because we have start of the string, we have a little dash symbol, and we have pluses, and so it replaces all of these things with nothing, right? So if I put this in, you can test this as well. This has got like a substitution mode, and then you can put like your little substitution in here, right? Which is nothing by default. So if there's nothing here, it'll replace it with nothing. So we end up taking our string up here and turning it into our string down here, right? That's what this is doing. It's replacing a bunch of nonsense characters that aren't part of a valid set. That's what this carry within the square brackets does. And then we replace like repeated dashes with a nothing. And then we make sure it's only up to 48 characters long. So that's what identity segment is doing. A lot of like text manipulation stuff. Cool. Help, unnecessary to really go into the detail, but it's helpful to know that, this stuff has some form of a reason of why it's doing X, Y, Z. copy, require, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so like basic things. So this is just our basic data class to say this is where data will be stored. Our second class here is the SQL class. And so our second file, module, file, package module. I don't know what you call them in JavaScript, TypeScript. And we're going to import bot data. Cool. So we're building this on top of the data class we just saw. We represent what a SQL bot data row will look like if we run a query. And then we say, we're going to keep track of the file that this database is stored and the bot data class that represents the underlying data class. And we've got to build this from a bot data class. So you can only create a SQL bot data on top of a bot data. I'm wondering if this should be like derived. Should this be like extending? Do we have extends in TypeScript? This is where I'm new to TypeScript in terms of like sitting down and thinking about it and writing it myself. So extends, it's not a kind of file system identity. It uses one to provide a SQLite database over it so the existing composition is right. Gotcha. So it's not a type of data. Is it not? It's not a kind of file system identity. Uses a file system identity to create one. It's kind of a file system identity, isn't it? It's just a SQL variant with more spice. It kind of is. It's a richer file system backed inheritance, so an inheritance could be defensible. The real test is substitutability. If code expects a bot data, should a SQL bot data work where everyone is accepted? Not necessarily. Should a SQL bot data be a bot data? I mean, it just has a file interface at the moment. I don't think it matters that much. I think it's more about composition, and we can deal with that later. And it's the only consumer of bot data right now, and we don't have any like abstraction requirements for it. So it could even be overkill to have a generic class for this at all right now, but we'll maintain it for now and think about it later. I'm fine with that. Const writer, new database, sync this.file. And we have this idea of a database sync, which is a node type. Cool. SQLite database sync implements disposable, constructs on a path like. So this is how SQLite, I guess, is supported by default in TypeScript. What I do want to have a look at is database sync node SQLite. Let's have a look at SQLite in Node.js. Also, is there a tutorial? I kind of want to have a quick tutorial view of like SQLite and Node. Because normally in Python land, you'd need to install the right package and then like initialize it. But Node looks like it has SQLite inbuilt by default. Better auth. SQLite is a lightweight SQL serverless self-contained SQL database engine. Most people use better SQLite. Node SQLite module is a release candidate. As of here, it requires this. No longer requires the experimental SQLite. Okay, so it was added in a particular version. When was Node.js 24.5? When was this released? Is this like 15th of April? Really? No, surely not. April 15, 2026. What? Starting from, 2022.50. 2022.50 Node.js. July 2024. Okay, 2 years old. So 2 years ago, SQLite got added to Node.js by default, so you can use Node SQLite and database sync. And this package author is better auth, so they're saying how they can make authentication easier. We don't care about authentication. Our bots are just running locally for now. Not to say that I don't care about authentication. I care about authentication very much when I've got something sensitive to protect, but we're not dealing with that right now. Create a set of tables, prepare statements, insert stuff into it, query the data, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What we do need to think about, what was part of our design, was if we let bots start running queries against data directly, an AI could write whatever SQL queries it wants. It could just start inserting random shit in there as it explores the world. It could be like, I saw a duck, right? Ducks do exist in Minecraft. Do they exist in Minecraft? I don't think they exist. I was taking that to be something that didn't exist. Duck Minecraft? Ducks are a mob. Oh, in the exotic birds mob. Not in. Okay, cool. So they're modded in. They're not like they're not like a default thing. Yeah. Like, so if you let bots write SQL, they could start like messing with your database and inserting things. We kind of don't want that. So the idea is if we can restrict the valid SQL that will be accepted from a bot when it says, I want to query this thing, and put conditions around that, we'll restrict it to be like read only. Like, don't give it like any write capabilities whatsoever. Strip out any like macros or kind of like SQL injection attack nonsense where it tries to run JavaScript in the middle of SQL. We do want to prevent it from doing things that are dodgy, or at least like not. We don't want to like go to the ends of the earth, but we want to like more or less kind of like clean it, sanitize it, make sure it's only running like valid SQL. So that is one thing that we want to like keep an eye on. But for now, database connector. What are we doing? For now, we just want to like get one, create it, get it working, and like run some stuff. And it seems like all that requires is opening it up, create a database sync either in memory or with the file backed behind it, and then just start running SQL. Cool. Couldn't be easier. That's the promise of SQLite. You want to run SQL? We'll make it easy to run SQL wherever the hell you are. So that seems like what we're doing here in our bot data. Whoop. In our bot data, we create a database sync writer, and then our reader is either a database sync or undefined. We configure our writer. Let's have a look at configure. Pragma journal mode, write ahead log, synchronous normal, busy timeout, foreign keys on, good. Configure reader, query only, good, cool. So we can set our reader to say, no, you're only allowed to read. And our bot should only ever use the reader. The writer should always be automatic. If our bot is writing information directly, it could write all sorts of crazy things, right? We kind of want writes to be very explicit if a bot ever results in some kind of a data store being updated, like if it wants to take notes or something. But by default, if our writing is automatic and our reading can be like free form and like restricted, happy. We also add some like kind of nice default options like busy timeout, foreign keys on, good. Install and validate metadata, key value, SQL bot data metadata, expected schema version world ID scope kind bot. So we kind of include some metadata around what bots are connecting to this world, and we do that with like creating a table if it doesn't exist, getting the bot data into a map, finding to see if it exists already. We prepare a statement for inserting. We say begin a transaction, begin immediate. No, we don't begin a transaction. Let's look at begin immediate mode in SQLite. Break this down. My professional experience mostly leans into data warehousing and like gigantic databases. So thinking about like DB transactions and stuff is not something I've thought about a great deal until like more recently in terms of building apps. So transactions I'm across. This does start a SQLite transaction, immediately acquires the database's write reservation. Cool. Excellent. Multiple. So basically like your database slows down when it does like changing operations. What you want to do is like buffer them as much as possible and like slam them all in one go. And so a transaction essentially does that. It creates a staging area where you make your like changes to the database and it like locks it. And then after you finish doing your transaction, you commit. And that says, all right, put them in the database, write them to disk. And this is like, what actually like saves your database changes to disk. So what this function is doing is we're going through and we're saying, Const key expected value of expected. Find get key. If it's undefined, then we insert. Otherwise, if it doesn't exist, our expected value, which is here, then we say there's an identity mismatch. Cool. But how do we query it? So this is where you can have bugs, right? Our key is just key. Our key is key. Key text primary key, not value. Okay. What is our key? Key, expected value, schema version, world ID, scope kind, bot ID, find insert. Gotcha. Because this is a single database for a single bot, we expect our key and our specific bot version for this particular bot to be exact. So if we try and connect one bot to a different bot's database, this is where you would have this error pop up, throw new error, SQL bot identity mismatch, right? If database.isTransaction, if we're in a transaction right now, like if we threw an error during a transaction, we didn't commit, we want to do a rollback, right? Go back to before we did the transaction, don't make any changes, throw error. Cool. Makes sense to me. But what if the schema version changes? So this is where I'm like, okay, what if our schema version changes? Changes for bot data schema. We'll define that when we change it and what happens. And I think this is where you get into DB migrations. If for some reason we wanted to change our SQL bot data schema version, you'd still throw an error here, but you would make sure you do any migration activity beforehand. So you would update the schema version that we have here and the schema version that's in the DB in one step. And then if for some reason that fails and you still try to run this code and that schema mismatches, then you'd be like, yo, no. And I think that's what it's going to say. It's intentionally fail fast. When you introduce a real schema change, we bump it to 2. We add a migrate schema. We do that in one transaction. And then we reject versions newer than the code understands and reject unknown and valid versions. So that's what we do here. Cool. So that's just a version compatibility guard for future-facing stuff. Makes sense. Happy with that. So this is just a basic connect the bot with a connect the bot to a SQL database, persist it to disk, and then basically fill it out with some metadata information saying this is the bot, this is the world, this is what it connected to, this database is here. You're good. Next up. Cool. Happy with that. Let's go. So we've got a file that will put a SQLite database per bot running in a world. Good. Next up, let's go back to our plans. This all existed beforehand. We want to get Codex to start helping us do the next step. And so the next step, as part of this plan, and it's important to have plans for things that you care about working well, because plans let the bot think a little bit more. It gives you time to have a think about what's in a, what the bot is actually doing, what's in your code base, the approach it's taking, whether you agree with it, and we can read through this and see if there's anything that we're unhappy with, right? So plans, there is a plan mode in most tools. You can always go to Codex, and before you make a change, you say plan. And plan mode means it's not going to make changes. It's going to think about what it's going to do beforehand, right? You can look at the plan, you can update the plan, you can read it. So plan mode is probably the first place you start. The more intense version of this is spec-driven development, where you can articulate everything you want in your thing that you're building, your vibed thing, in a spec, and then you get your AI to implement the spec. Hey Morwick, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. We are building the next version of what this guy's doing. Or at least we're building the next action that this guy can do, which is exploring the world when he's missing resources. But we're doing it AI, but by hand in both ways. AI is writing the code, but we are making sure that we understand what the hell is going on at a detailed level and adjusting it where it needs to be adjusted. That's the play at the moment. Feel free to ask any questions. Very happy to answer questions about literally anything, or just shoot the shit and talk about things like Sam Altman pausing AI development. Did you see that? AI has gotten so powerful that CEOs are now pulling back on AI development speed to give them time to catch up with safety guardrails. Sam Altman. Look at this shit. I found an old repo a year ago for AI players. I did not work on custom mod packs. Have you spent much time working on Minecraft mod stuff at all? Are you a Minecraft mod knower? Because I'd love to have a chat about like Minecraft mod, Mindflayer, Minecraft stuff in general. I think it's super cool. Yo, hey, so you've done some mod work yourself. Have you done Mindflayer work? Have you created some like Minecraft bot energy things before? Ambient craft. Oh man, I've got to go and look up your work now. Hell yeah. Awesome. Oh, tech. It's a tech mod. Sick. It's like a skyblock but in a lava world. Dude, that's sick. I'll go and see the mods included now. Where's the how do you say the where are the list of mods? How do you get the actual mods that are included in like a mod pack? Is this a mod pack? I swear there's a button for it somewhere. Ad number 4. Ah yes. Let's let the ad finish quickly. I'll give you a second. Let me go and check this on CurseForge. Ambient craft. Discover. Hell yeah. Content. Ads are nearly done. Sorry about that. ads done soon. Sorry about that. You should be back now. La 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 la. Wish I could turn them off. Ad number 6, bruh. You're getting the works. Sorry. Okay, you're back. Sorry. I wish I could turn ads off. Apparently you can't. Apparently the second you become like a Twitch affiliate, you make an agreement with Twitch that they will show ads and you'll enjoy it. So you can change when they run. You can snooze them, but you can't turn them off. Yo, sick, dude. Oh man, when you're making a mod pack, like you specify geometry, you choose a set of like mods that are included. And I've seen a bunch of like the high-end ones that have like custom UIs and stuff. Like, what's your actual work? I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated to have a discussion with somebody that's actually done this. What does the work typically involve for you as a server pack designer? As like a mod pack creator. What are you creating any of the mods yourself? Are you adding them into your pack to orchestrate them in? Object matching. Yeah, because they've all got subtly separate like object IDs, and you need some things to work with each other, and they all have like customization like abilities, and you can change recipes and all of that stuff, right? Like if you want to create your own progression tree, you're doing a lot of like design about what things ladder into what things, that kind of thing. And do you have missions and progression? Do you have mods that help you set up missions and progression? Like, do you have systems around that, or are you building your own systems, I guess, your own like mission system so that you can customize it in the way that you want? Like, you know, are you a Java developer? Are you like, I'm so curious. No AI, no helpers, all by hand, writing Java, compiling jars, putting together like server packs. Crazy. Damn, dude. Hella respect. I have enjoyed a few mods in my time, a few mod packs. Can't remember. What did I do? We did back when COVID happened. Minecraft definitely saw a huge uptick in people that were playing together. I played on quite a few. I hosted some servers for friends, and we did some playthroughs of different worlds back when COVID happened. I can't remember what we were doing. We were doing a like combined adventure mod, and then I think I played like all the mods. Is there an all the mods? Like one of these ones? All the mods 10? Or maybe it was like one of the like Sky. Yeah, I think it was like one of the Skyblock ones, right? Where you like was like a tech mod, and you kitchen sink mods where it had like all of the tech progression stuff. And I had a ball. It was a lot of fun leaning into getting your energy systems online, coming across like the oh fuck man, I've forgotten so many of the mod things. What's the computing one? Give me the names of these things. Computing mod. Not computers, not these ones. The ones for auto crafting. I'll remember it the second I see it. Storage networks? Applied Energistics, AE2. God damn, that was fun. Getting AE2 set up, CPU multi-block stuff, having the auto crafting work out, like piping all of the things into like your machines to do automatic smelting, getting the things that would like getting the machines and like having them like multiply ore and stuff. Oh man, it was so satisfying. Automating everything in existence. Refined storage, yeah, I've come across that more recently, and that was like a lot prettier and a lot easier to get started with, and had better docs. But yeah, I was playing back in the golden age of AE2 when it was like reasonably new, I think. Hell yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate your work. Even if I haven't played your mod pack directly, I appreciate your work greatly. All right, well, look, I can hopefully then my mission with what I'm trying to do with our bot here will resonate somewhat, right? So hear me out. Hear me out, Morwick. Hear me out. We've got all of these AI models coming along and, causing mayhem and chaos everywhere, right? And they are being thrown at games as a proving ground for their ability to do certain things. When Fable 5, Anthropic's big old model, was like actually released, they had... Stop. I'm stopping 1 minute. Stop. I'm being told to... I'm stopping. Why am I stopping? 1 minute. All right, I'm waiting. Come back when you're ready. I'll take a sip of water in the meantime. Give me the base. What base? Oh, Claude Code. Okay. So I'm giving you the base, like the motivation behind why I'm doing this at all, and then exactly what we're actually building. Can I go through the two steps? The two-step process. So, the motivation for AI in Minecraft at all, right? Okay, we'll do it the opposite way then. So let's go the exact opposite way. What we're running here is a Mindflayer bot, right? Mindflayer is the JavaScript API, does Minecraft. Whole people have built lots of stuff on it. You would have heard about it being in the Minecraft community at some point. Mindflayer is the tech base, right? The thing on top of that is the bridge between Mindflayer and any AI, right? We're building an MCP server that can run Mindflayer commands, but with a bit more logic. For instance, our tests that we're running here at the moment are a single function, right? I vibed a whole bunch of this stuff, got mad because it got too big and we got a little bit out of whack with it. And we've created a TypeScript Express MCP server that runs in host here. So does it run in so? No, that's connect bot. Where's our connection stuff? Main, promise, void, HTTP server. Where's our MCP? It's sitting somewhere here. Server, MCP, this shit. Session, runtime. Here we go. Oh man, where do we even create this? Run session. Anyway, we've got an MCP server that we set up here, and we just register a set of tools. And at the moment, we've got one tool. I added a whole bunch of stuff. And then I've stripped it back because I actually want to get a lot closer to the code. And so I dialed it back, destroyed everything, argued with Codex a fucking lot, which is exactly what we're using to build it. So this is all Codex, ChatGPT, some Claude as well, some Opus as well. I'll toggle between the two. But the key thing I'm doing with this is being across all of the code. We're not like arbitrarily vibe coding. I'm reading through it. We're defining contracts. We're defining how this is going to work. We're using like Zod schema validation to set up exactly the methods that our bot takes. And we're architecting things like what I'm about to add, which is frontier exploration. So the bot can like navigate its way around the world. So this is this shit, right? Like, can we explore the frontier? We need an ability to store and memorize like chunks and like how the bot's moving around the world. Because AI can't see Minecraft in the same way we do. It sees the world in text, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what we're doing, is thinking about, all right, maybe we'll use SQLite to store this. We'll give it an ability to query it. We'll then set up some MCP around it, calling it. Now the goal is, right? The goal is AI has cracked Pokemon. When they released Fable 5, it beat Pokemon Red, basically vision only on its own, got through the whole game in like record time, right? You're going to have it follow a player around also. No, because the goal here, so if Fable 5 can beat Pokemon, it still can't beat Minecraft. No one has beaten Minecraft end-to-end with AI yet, which is interesting, right? Because if AI is so great, can't it just beat a little game like Minecraft? Apparently not. Or at least not in the same way, right? Minecraft bots and most of the things that I see other people doing are like writing code or writing routines to like tackle problems. And so they'll, do an action and have a bot that writes code and executes that code to do some kind of an action, right? Which is okay, but then you're going to have to rely on the bot having API knowledge of what code it can write and how to interact with Mindflayer and how to do these things. And it ends up getting caught up in the detail. And I think that that's where some of the problems still kind of occur, when it gets stuck on things, when it can't navigate around things. And so what I see is the problem between AI and it beating Minecraft, i.e. beating the Ender Dragon, fully completing the whole game, going from fresh survival world with, damage on and like monsters and stuff all the way to the end and beating the Ender Dragon, is it's got a bit of a gap between its ability to like actually take action in the game, right? There are problems, it can't react in real time. You can't like actually fight monsters unless you have some automatic routine which can fight monsters that it can adjust. Collecting blocks. It's a process of finding the block, walking to the block, mining the block. But even that will have problems that the bots run into. And so we've got an issue in the connecting layer, both Mindflayer and then the things that call Mindflayer to let bots actually navigate the game. That's what I want to like deal with. So then AI can just use a MCP server to navigate the whole game. Player 2 AI MCP. Yes, please. Educate me. Sweet. Not just a pet that follows you around, true companion. Sick. Player 2 AI and the player engine framework. I need to look this up. So this is why I'm glad you're here, because in describing this to you, I'm like, what have you heard that I haven't heard? Server-side framework. Give me a second. I'm just going to reconnect my headset. Player as an interface. Player engine treats being a player not as a specific entity type, but as a set of capabilities. Player-like inventory. Interact with the world, breaking blocks and using items. Yeah. Advanced pathfinding and task execution by a powerful automaton engine. True world interactions. Player-like inventories. Built on a solid foundation. Cool. Automaton. Ah, they forked baritone. Gotcha. Guardrails. Good. This is exactly the kind of thing, right? So this is exactly the kind of project that I'd want to like learn from, reference, and see, has it already solved all of the problems that I'd want to solve? It all works on an LM. It's more like a SLM. You can download it and open it. Looks Looks like a good start to bots not jumping into lava. Yeah, exactly. Bots not just like walking into like dumb places. Yeah, so this is exactly the kind of like project that I'd like look at, see how they've like approached problems, see if they've already solved enough problems that it's like a solved class of problem, or see if there's things that I'd still want to like build on top of it. But the question is, have they used it to beat Minecraft? Let's find out. Player 2, player engine beats Minecraft. Let's see. Can I beat Minecraft faster than a human? Who's building this, by the way? This doesn't get up. Good bird, git. What do you mean by beat Minecraft? Kill the Ender Dragon. Kill the Ender Dragon was done by a bot years ago. It hasn't been done by AI end to end yet that I've seen, or at least not like it's not been publicly broadcast very well if it has been done. If you've got links, let me know, because I still want to, like, I want to do it if no one else has done it, or I want to put a better engine in place that other people can use to have bots that play more like a human does. But again, like if it's done, then that takes like, that makes it a lot less valuable to actually go and like do that mission. But if you've got a video or like any links or references to who I should look up to see if it's been done before, that's actually what I want to get to. Actuator layer for a brain. Yes, yes, yes. So this is the same mission statement that I'm actually like wanting to go through and do, but with Mind Flayer instead. We've got game jams and everything.
Did you know grandma crackers found a
Alrighty, let's watch a video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell? Why do I, oh, okay. I've got this muted.
Found a Minecraft AI that basically helped her beat the entire game? Well, you see, she met Verity, a cheerful AI that promised to help her get everything she needed to defeat the Ender Dragon. It started simple, with wood, stone, and iron. But then Verity started giving her insane amounts of loot, including armor, emeralds, blaze rods, and even stacks of diamonds. Grandma Crackers was so overwhelmed that she didn't even know what to do with all those diamonds. Then Verity prepared her for the end, and suddenly, she was face to face with the Ender Dragon. She struggled, missed her shots, and nearly lost control.
I mean, this is like an AI companion, right? This is like a helper. I want AI controlling the bot. Like I want AI to be making the decisions and like navigating the world as like an actual player, right? Yes. So like what I'm looking for is an agent that on its own terms navigates the full game, start to finish from a survival world, and can beat the Ender Dragon. That's the goal. Pandas, Minecraft progress is going well. We're looking at we're like reading through the SQL implementation for like how we can store data, and just like understanding that it's basically inserting a bunch of information when a bot joins and then maintaining it. So if a different bot joins and uses the wrong like SQLite instance, it complains and it's like, yo, this isn't your memory, get lost. That's what I was checking out, and then we are going to do the next step and have a look at our plan that we were codexing together in terms of the actual sequence of steps we want to do to implement like a frontier logic. That's what we're up to. Very cool. But if you do come across any media about somebody actually beating the whole game end to end with AI driving autonomously, let me know, because that's still what I want to see. That's what I'm on the hunt for. I haven't been able to find anything that shows that yet. The closest I saw was Emergent Garden did a Minecraft update where he was like asking the community to kind of collaborate to achieve the, actually do the whole end-to-end beat the Ender Dragon thing. And that was like a couple of months ago. And then he said, I'm putting this Minecraft stuff on hold for now. I'm focusing on other projects. So Emergent Garden has been like the closest to it and has made a whole bunch of content on it, but never confirmed the actual like end-to-end beating of it. So I feel like if it had been done during that period, Emergent Garden would have like talked about it. So unless it's been done in like the past 1 or 2 months, it hasn't been done yet, I think. So you're going back to Sammy the Scammer. You talked about Easier. All I can say is, well, yeah, that's what happens when your company is going broke. No one will give you money anymore. That's what's really happening. What are you talking about? Who's Scammy Sammy? Oh, Sam Altman. Right, yeah. Scammy Sammy. This guy. As not me. Hi, how long have you been investing in AI? I've been non-stop using it for different projects and vibe coding stuff since November in terms of using it actively to write all of the code that I write. But I've been working with AI for 10 years because I was building machine learning stuff, since way before ChatGPT came out. So I don't know, most of my professional career, I guess. Scammy Sammy. Scammy Sammy. The interesting thing is looking at it as like a network. Do I have my own setup of AI, like a local setup of like Quen models? I did some playing around with Quen and like quantized Quen and like local Nematron to do voice into Minecraft fully locally as like one of my streams a couple like 2-3 weeks ago. But for most of my stuff, less so trying to run local models. I have like, because I want to use like try out different capabilities for things on stream, like voice mode and GPT and like whatever, the latest like Fable model is. I have like so many subscriptions that having a model like run on and drain my GPU all the time doesn't like make super sense. If I had like a MacBook with like loads of unified storage or like an always on like Mac Mini or something where I could like get higher levels of unquantized models running, I probably just keep a Quen 3.8 27B running all the time, but I don't at the moment, and most of my needs are like Lunar in theory is just as good as Quen 3.8 or pretty close to as good. Although if you believe Artificial Intelligence Index, like Quen 3.8's up there, right? I was surprised it was so high on that list. Index, a artificial analysis, this one. All right, the Quen 3.8, if we look at the chart, is like there. But, I've already, like, Lunar is basically unlimited on any plan. Like, if you run Lunar stuff, like, it's not a local model, but if you've got a codec subscription anyway for access to the higher tier stuff, then I just use this instead of Lunar, and then I don't have to host it, and it's basically free anyway, right? 25090s to run Olama, run local Gidia and MCP. You make stupid dev tools aren't stupid. Dev tools are God's work. GSOL. Give every interface a soul. Sick. Generative SVG. Oh, like designing like design systems? Sick, dude. That's nice. That's super nice. Inspiration, background assets. Yeah, man. Generative design patterns. I like that. And then you can just drag and drop that into your agent of choice, and then it'll design a system around it. That's sick. I like the hover as well. Get the text, get the fills, get the colors. That is nice. Is that kanji? Is that Japanese? Panda has questions too. Question. I installed Quen and other AIs on my GPU. Can I use them in Codex when my usage for Sol runs out? You can actually, but you'll need to use something like Codex open model router. You'll need to install something to enable it, but I have seen this pop up in people's codexes. So macOS or Linux, you install it, do some setup. There's Olama Cloud and then local things, but you basically configure it, point it to a reasonable URL for like local, and then you'll be able to like see it locally. So if you are running local models and you've got like a big enough GPU, look up something like a Codex router. I don't know if this is the best one, like do a bit more research with your friendly AI, but you can do things to enable it to run other models. Check out something like this. Oh, sorry, I didn't put these here. Let me put one over here. Whoa, that's a bit too thin. And then one over here. Photographers work in light. We work in shade. Yes, we do. Us programming types. We work in the darkness. Children of the darkness. This is nice. Very nice. Do you do some photography stuff too? Damn. AI is getting scary good, man. You're blind. Hell yeah. Oh, props to you on making mod packs while blind. Phenomenal work. Phenomenal work. Very easy. A local comfy UI. Oh, Pandas was using that. Do you rate it? I was looking that up just before. A node-based design thing. What are your thoughts on it? This thing, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You can use this to make images, processing steps, outputs. Can you drive this with AI? Like, does this have an MCP or something where turn workflows into production endpoints? Yeah, like where you can get codecs to like add stuff into Comfy UI. Oh yeah, it does. Comfy MCP. They literally got like a whole like page for it. Any AI agent, local or cloud, keyframes, set extension, campaign key art. Cool. Open source, runs free. Oh, and you can pip install it. Dude. Oh no, this is the MCP. Gotcha. Gotcha. For asset generation, right? If you're using it, if you're using it for generation, do you need to, like, is that'd be a paid service if you're like using AI features, but can you generate stuff like locally with, was it Minimax H3? Minimax H3 that came out recently? That's for audio though. No, general purpose. You can run this locally, right? Local Flex server as well. Dude, I set up my first Ubuntu server the other day. I got a Dell like Optiplex, not something huge, but just, you know, just something to like have on all the time, like run some super base database stuff, connect to it, like, oh man. It is like just so nice having something that's always on. You can just like have Ubuntu running there. You can have an actual shell. You can install what you want. Got my Docker set up. Oh, brother, we're running like many Docker containers, running them on Tailnet. We're like serving a whole bunch of like stuff. I've got one of the first things I did when I was like started this year, I came back from holidays. I'm like, man, I really need to like track my calories and like be on top of like, you know, calorie tracking a bit more. And so I created an app, and the thing I just did with the Ubuntu server I've got is I'm running the Superbase backend, so it's got like the real time updates and stuff, and then I connect from the app to the Superbase backend over Tailnet. but I'm also running an MCP server that I've got running on Tailscale Funnel, so it's publicly accessible. And then you can plug that into just actual AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or whatever, and those tools can then do the logging for you. So if I want to like log food now, I just open up like ChatGPT and I'm like log I don't know, a banana, and then it'll just MCP it straight into my Docker container, so my Superbase SQL instance running on my Ubuntu server at home using my public like MCP endpoint. It's like sick. I can't believe Tailscale is free. Like, it is so OP. It's the best. It's so good. Oh man, so good. All right. We need to build some frontier exploration. Appreciate you dropping in, Morwick. Sick, dude. All right, pandas. Look at my Discord. What are you shilling now? Oh, you've got like Zelda style. What is it? Like cell shading. This makes me think Borderlands, right? Like this makes me think Borderlands style. I feel like, oh yeah, ads. Sorry, fam. Ads are up. We'll be back soon. Crazy the things that people are building. Honestly wild. Alrighty. We wanted to do the next chunk. Potata, present. Yep, present. Types, schema, store. I think it should be in store. I think this should mostly be in like the actions for the store in terms of like what's automatically running. Although we will need some automatic tracking. I'd like this not to be so many files, but I think for the next slice of what we actually want to build is like, we want to build the thing that automatically, keeps track of the chunks. Okay, next up let's create a completely new thread for this. We're going to plug it into this one. We're going to plug it into frontier plan, this plan for it, add frontier plan.md. Next slice is we want to automatically populate this database DB as we move through the world. New world on chunks loading that we haven't collected yet. Can you? I think we should do this more minimally. Let me turn on voice. I think we should do this more minimally than our plan suggests if we can, but like I want a first slice of this. So because this isn't like a public facing interface, we don't need to be too hectic with our like typing and classes and stuff. Ideally, we can capture the data that's already emitted in the chunk event and then pipe it into our live bot instance as easily as possible. But that will just also mean like creating our little bot instance and wiring that into the session runtime creation, and then observing that working. Let's build that and then observe it working first. Do you need to change the plan for that? I think we should be able to do most of this in like one file. But because it's like an automatic thing running, I think for anything that is like part of a system and running automatically, that definitely needs its own little resting place. We put that in source frontier, or this plan puts it in source frontier. That might be a good place to have it, but we might want something a bit more generic for like hook actions or things that are automatically running, or kind of like runtime framework stuff. Like maybe we keep this alongside runtime because I've already got a folder for runtime. We've got a folder for runtime, like right. Oh, we got a folder for session. So this might be like a frontier.ts under session, unless we have like a lot of other things under frontier. Looks good, pandas. If you can get the animation working. Getting close. Getting close. Man, given I've heard Comfy UI like twice today, maybe I should install it and give it a go. 2 different people have told me about Comfy. And if I hear about something twice, then the next time I gotta have some opinion on it, you know? Here's an AI chat you made to poke fun about token maxing and shitty AI. Hell yeah. I will not be answering it, but I will tell you something. That's a promise. I sent it to Scammy Sammy when GPT 5.2 bombed and asked him if he wanted to buy it. Is that why you watch Twitch now and don't work? Because you're a millionaire? Because Sammy's giving you the bag to shut up? When will we achieve AGI? An octopus can squeeze through any hole larger than its beak, which is about the size of a coin. Terrifying. Moving on. 2.4 million tokens vaporized to say that. How many lakes does 2.4 million tokens cost? That's awesome. A SPAC was a backdoor way to go public by merging with an empty shell company. It was basically a corporate trench coat full of hope. Very 2021 anyway. What did you generate these responses with? I like online barely. That's awesome. 70 empty-headed visits. Powered by absolutely nothing. You should have, with all of the benchmarks, you should have shown that this is like just under like Claude Fable 5. Like put it like emptyheadai.com. Like benchmax to the max. Hell yeah. Light LLM, Docker, web server, public web server, or you're like running this yourself at home? Are you running your private home lab to run stuff? This is sick though. I love it. More plus. Best thing at the bottom, 7 people have gone to it. It's a hosted box. Sick. I am not running too much public stuff at the moment. I was, and then I decided I want to like build stuff more for myself. Local, I want to be not sending data anywhere. Yes, comfy, off you go. Minimax H3. Oh, will this download it as well? 53 gig, holy hell. Damn. Oh, this is full generative, I see. Image, 3D. I see. So this is what Panda's been playing with to take his images and turn them into 3D. Let's do image to 3D because I don't really want help downloading video or images right now, but 3D would be fun. Yeah, let's talk Comfy. What are your thoughts on Comfy? Chatters that have used it. Is it good? Is this the future? Is this gonna change gaming and development forever? What's it good at? I feel like coming into this world of like media more so, I see a lot of node-based interfaces. The other one that I saw recently was what is it? Shit, I forgot the name of that too. Program for interactive media, real-time visuals. None of these. Touch designer, this one. I came across this too. You ever use this? Apparently it's complex to use, but this lets you do like cool effects in real time that respond to like hand motions and stuff. You can download the framework, comfy first, then you can run the UI or have an MCP call it for image or video gen. Once you download it, they have a ton of LLMs, shader packs that are free. You just click to download, let's say a video gen. Yeah, so this helps you also acquire the models and then run them and then like wire them up to things. It's kind of like call to fame, right? Diffusion models, VAE, Clip Vision. Yeah, node-based design, all in one package. Interesting. I want to try the 2D to 3D. See what we could do with that. Because that's like, I feel like 3D assets are one of the things that I still haven't seen AI crack yet properly. In a nice way. Or maybe it has and I don't connect when it has. Like what is the golden standard for 3D asset pipelines? Like 3D AI asset pipelines. I know it can one-shot it into websites with like 3JS and just like rigging stuff. Like we've made a bunch of those on stream before. Like where did our Claude ones go? Item drift footprint. Opus flight sim. Yeah, like we made this with Opus, which was pretty cool. Pretty cool. We were making it with Opus and then it stopped working properly. What? So I made this with Opus. Pretty cool. So I can do this nice, but like, you know, like, I mean, look, like that's the best Eiffel Tower I saw out of all of the other models. Like I gave it to GPT 5.6, to Gemini, to Fable, and this is the best like 3D web render I've been able to get out of Opus. So Opus can definitely do things like this, which is quite nice. Has the geometry of like the different yeah, like the places near the Eiffel Tower. Oh, 100%. Yeah. More tools, and if it can like look up stuff and actually base it on Google Maps, I'm sure it could do it. I just wanted it to do it like one page, one shot, off its memory or like knowledge about how the how France like looks, and so this is more testing. Like this is almost like a little benchmark. How well does a model understand the geometry around the Eiffel Tower and then the ability to like make an interactive flight game, right? So that's kind of like what we were trying to get out of this one. But we could build more, but like it's more just like, what can a model do one shot? This is what it can do one shot. And it's getting pretty impressive in terms of what it can do one shot. But it's not the one shot stuff that's hard, right? Like you want to make an actual game, it's not one shot. Like you will get slowed down in development real quick. It's liberating building like a first pass of something with AI. The second that you need to do more passes with AI, man, it just feels like molasses after a while. So like, this is where I'm like, right, 3D assets, but like, can it do nicely rendered 3D assets based on like a reference design? This is what I'm hoping to get out of Comfy with its 3.5 gig of models. You miss the old days where everything was done by hand. How do you feel about the AI apocalypse, Mr. Morwick? BBS systems? The hell? BBS systems. Bulletin boards. Damn. This is hot. Device that brings Wi-Fi internet. That is hot. Uploading and downloading software and data, reading news and bulletins, exchanging messages with other users. Hell yeah. FidoNet. Man, I feel like this is a name I haven't heard for quite a while. Worldwide Computer Network, back in the days. Made your own version of this too? Crazy. Man, I really should open up your links without like putting them on stream directly. You can show me all sorts of crazy things. Oh man, like I feel like these sounds predate the like modem dial-up sounds that like I grew up with as a kid, like you know those ones. All right. B. Ben at bengineering.live. Failed to fetch. Ah. Oh man, I can't even sign up. Oh, continue view only. Gotcha. And this would be you'd be navigating with keyboard for this. Oh, actually, you've got like hotkeys. M message boards. Oh, they don't work. General technology gaming. No one's talking on these message boards. Why is it so dead? Huh? Chat area? Oh, because I'm not logged in. Dungeon crawler? This is sick. Does it bring back memories? Does it bring back memories? MS-DOS? Oh, bro. MS-DOS. This is crazy. This is sick, though. You built this? .44 megabyte floppy and a 1.2 megabyte 5.25 inch. Oh, 4 megabytes of RAM. Bro, what are you going to do with all that RAM? You got the RAM for days. Crazy. Back in the days, man. Makes you think how far we've come. And yet how far we haven't come as well. I feel like Unix is still like OP, and I feel like modem bank, the flashing transmission and receiving monitors, sick. I feel like the AI is fascinating because the only reason AI is good is because it can run bash, right? People are discovering that like AI and coding agents are so powerful at the moment. So many people are kind of like entering into AI with the ability for it to do stuff. But like it can run bash commands. That's why AI is good. Like, and it can like think about stuff. So yes, it's getting smart. But the thing that enables it is technology that like is very mature and very old. And that's why AI is very good, right? And people are like, this is amazing. It's like, well, you could have done that before. You just didn't know how to write the commands. The only difference is you've got an AI that can write those commands. But yes, it is making people, it's frustrating because it's enabled via code and also slowed down via code. And so you still need to know code. But the hard part is how do you keep the discipline of writing, reading, and designing around like code and owning it when you're not writing it? Like you're not owning it in the same way. It's not a product of your fingers. It's a product of like an AI plus your thoughts. And so I think this is what a lot of people are grappling with, especially at the lower end, is how do I still care about like code? How do I still care about the actual things under the hood when AI is abstracting you so much from it? But I think it's still important. At least like right now with our current iteration of AI, you are still limited by your technical capabilities after AI starts making dumb decisions, because fuck, it still does. It still writes terrible code, even with the best models, and poor decisions that don't actually suit what you want it to do, or it over-engineers everything. I have a good example of this. As I was building this MCP server project, it started writing tests, right? Tests sound great. Okay, cool. I went through some of the tests that it was writing before I completely like started from scratch again. And it was testing things by reading the source code as a string and then doing regex searches against the source code. You know You know how stupid that is? That's like, well, the variable, it clearly has a constant set to 5, and so the unit test is not going to load the constant and assert that it's 5. It's going to read the source code and then regex that constant is there and it's set to 5. Slop, right? Slop. It will just write shit code. It's not like I was using shit models. Like, you know, if I was using Gemini 3.5 or 3.6, whatever. It's Google's like Flash model. I can accept that. If I was using a local model, I can accept that, right? Fucking GPT 5.6 is writing that shit. Like, it's not like I'm using bad models, and they still write shit code sometimes because they just riff and then build on poor decisions that the last iteration made. History. BBS history. Feb 1978. They created the computerized bulletin board system in Chicago. This was the first BBS created during a blizzard. Crazy. 30 characters per second. Damn. Only one user could connect at a time? Hell yeah. Dial in via modem speed. Only one user could connect, send a message, and somebody else would come to it later on. OG. OG as the OGs come. Thousands of them operated worldwide, each one a unique community. WWIV, Wildcat, remote access, powerful features and ANSI graphics. PC board. Hell yeah. And like when you were using technology in these golden years, you're like, this is it. This is peak, right? This is as good as it's gonna get. This is awesome. You know? That was it. You message people. It was innocent. It was pure. It was technology at its finest. It was technology as technology was meant to be, right? Acoustic couplers, standard BBS speed in the early 1990s. Big improvements there. Peak speeds before broadband. Running a BBS required dedication. You need the hardware, you need to manage users, you need to moderate content. It's awesome. What's this one? Comprags. Retro Computing Magazine Archive. Failed to load. Man. No Comprags, apparently. Comp Mags? Is there a different one? Oh, this is it, right? No magazines. No magazines allowed. Yeah, man, this is peak. Peak. Door games. You had space trading and combat. Oh, man. Fantasy RPGs. Back in the golden era of textual games. ANSI art and graphics. Particularly the World Wide Web killed BBS. You know what happens if you get a BBS? You need a BBL afterwards. That's what happens if you get a Brazilian booty sag. What does it stand for? Bulletin board system, yep. Classic. Man, so good. So good. Peak. Hey, Comfy UI now. Let's give this a go. Let's try this out. What is this? Note, model link. Background removal, diffusion models, VA, Comfy UI models. Okay. GitHub, single 2D image, 3D Gaussian splat, Tripo splat. This one. Cool. What was this? 3 months ago. Oh, this is like recent shit. Cool. Click on templates. Far left. Templates, these ones. 3D model. Image to model, this one. But we want Tripo. But these are premium. We use the credit, we don't want that. Tripo splat. I think is this one, right? 3D Tripo. No, this is the template that it started us off with because we chose this on the first screen. So we choose this. This goes to an image to Gaussian splat. And so this is the model that actually then does it, and you can mess with the parameters, but they're already set up for you. Then we have a create 3D model. Gotcha. And so it's got like an editor built into that as well. Create camera, render splat, save video. And then it outputs like a video of it. Okay, cool. So then if we do that, run, then this will actually show it running. So go into here, splat, gotcha. And so after this finishes, got a little progress bar as well. Interesting. Then we should get a 3D model. And there we go. And then we do some rendering. Yeah, it's just a node-based programming model. I like that it has the, like, for visual stuff, you need some form of a visual program to actually see it, right? And so if you're not using something that exists, you're basically vibe coding your own version, which is somewhat wasteful and duplicative. Because then this will create like a 3D rotation render of it. That's cool. And then we've got an experimental version of it, but it didn't run. Okay. But that's cool as hell. So then if we give it a different model, what are we going to give it? Let's generate an image of a... Oh, wait, can it do... I wonder if it can do 2D to 3D. So like if we go ChatGPT, we say, create a 3D image of a... Do I get sued by Nintendo if I do Nintendo characters, or a Nintendo character's fair game on streams? As long as I don't share them more broadly. Thanks, Morwick. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Enjoy your night or day or morning or afternoon. Keep it real. Thanks for sharing so much good knowledge with us. Appreciate you. Welcome back anytime. All right. Well, I'm going to create a 3D image of something. Of a bed. You're going to bed. Let's create a 3D image of a bed. And we're creating a 3D image specifically so that it's 2D, but we get something that looks like it's 3D. So hopefully it's easier for our 2D to 3D thing to turn it into a 3D model, but we'll see. Tripo splat. 2D image to 3D Gaussian splat. This is cool. Tripo AI. Why are they building this? Create 3D models in seconds? Sure, I'll sign in. Engine ready in seconds. Interesting. Skip this. Go away. Interesting. All right. Well, there's a bed. Great. Can we do this? Let's save this. Download, open it up there. Great. Then let's do choose file, open it up from downloads, ChatGPT image, go. There we go, bed. Let's do it for this. Can we get a 3D model of a bed? Hey, Jet Pinky. Apparently people are taken with this comfy UI thing. And so I was giving this a go. And so as people are drifting off to bed, we are generating a 3D image of a bed. You know, to put people in the mood for the sleep that they should be having at like reasonable times for the US. I'm in Australia, so it's like bright outside. It's blue sky. It's like 2 p.m. It's awesome. And so apparently, oh, that's pretty cool. We actually get a really nice render of a 3D bed. Can we show... We can show the grid. Can we show the 3D model? Well, this is the 3D model. What's the difference? Scene, 3D model, HDRI, gizmo. I don't know what these things do. But cool. Fit to viewer. All right, and then we can create a video and it shows the bed rotating. That's crazy. So if you generate a 3D model in any AI tool, you can feed that into TripleSplat, and then this thing can turn it into an actual asset. That's crazy. All right. Are there any other splat tools? How good is TripleSplat? Are there competing splat models? What does the world of 2D to 3D look like right now? Dude, that's actually pretty crazy, eh? And then from this, you could just download this as an SPZ. PLY, KSplat, SPZ. Oh man, we might be making 3D games yet. Okay, so it's nice having like the renders here in this Comfy UI program thingy. And then this can also, you could put like a full pipeline and just basically get it to generate a full list of assets for a game from it and then just place them in the game. But that is quite nice. All right, let's do a second chat while that's loading. Let's say generate a 3D nice scenic 3D plane for a nice scenic flight around Paris. Tried to link up my codecs to your GPU. Sorry, we've got Twitch ads. Sorry, fam. Twitch does not give you an option of like not watching ads. You will watch ads whether you like it or not, and you'll enjoy it. You're gonna get advertised to. Those products, they're gonna be in your palm. You're gonna buy the heck out of those products. I tell you what, that ad that you just saw, next time you have a need for whatever that ad is telling you, that's gonna be what's on your mind. That's how they get you. That's how those sneaky ads get you. I'm telling you, that's how they get you. That's how you get added. You get added hard. Why is this going wrong? It says something went wrong. No, you didn't. You're fine. You can do it. All right, we've got an image. Yo. All right. So then if we do this and if we do the same thing, let's say that we want this plane and we want it in the game, right? So get this plane, download it, go to here, choose our file to upload. We just downloaded Comfy UI recently. We say we want a plane that can fly around Paris. So we're going to generate like a nice little flight plane, and then we're going to run it through this image to Gaussian splat TripleSplat model in Comfy UI. I've never done any of this stuff before. This is all completely brand new to me, right? I'm not a games person. I don't know 3D stuff. So if I can get 3D mesh models that are of like a reasonable quality in like 5 minutes, maybe it works well. Yeah, I'm using Comfy UI pandas. I'm giving it a go, right? Whoa, that plane looks messed up, bro. That does not look good at all. All right, let's try again. Do it again. Oh, actually, if we click on it, do it again, but top down, and without a background of France, so it's easier to Gaussian splat it. Do you reckon ChatGPT will understand that I want it to make an image that makes it easier for us to put in the model? Like if I say, I want to use this image as input to a Gaussian splat, does it know what I'm talking about? And does it know how to translate that into a reasonable visual, right? Because we had such a like side profile of this weird plane, it generated us the weirdest looking plane UV wrapped splat. Like it's kind of like a plane, but those are some wonky ass wings, I'm telling you. And so if we get a better perspective from our initial input image, do we get then a better like 3D render of the thing? The bed that we rendered was sick. That was a nice looking bed, I'm telling you. But yeah, this I think this makes sense. I think this makes sense. Can you full screen it too? Yeah, you can. I see. I see. 30% more efficient flight. Yeah. You just take off a wing and then you watch this bad boy go. Watch this bad boy go. Whoop. That plane is coming at you. Man, that plane won't even make it off the tarmac. This plane is in for a rough flight. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. To the ground. Yeah. This plane is not going very far at all. All right, cool. So if we go back to GPT and we get it to generate this is a much better input, hopefully reference image to generate our 3D image than this one was. I mean, this one was too stylized and we got like a side view and it didn't have half the wing. Also, it doesn't have half the wing in the photo. So I feel like the splat is not to blame for the the 3D model we got out of it. I think we blame ChatGPT for giving us a crap plane to begin with. This one looks better. So if we download this one and we try 3Ding it again, we go, we'll drag this over and we'll choose a file and we'll choose this one. Cool. If we 3Dify this one, run this pipeline, watch our model run again. Are we GPU accelerating this, by the way? How do we find out? Settings, appearance, mask editor, 3D, camera type, 3GS. Oh, it's using 3GS. Interesting. 3GS ply loader. Okay, so if we export this as a ply, we should be able to put this into our game if it's good. How's our second plane looking? That is, I mean, it's still a bit wonky. That's still a bit of a wonky plane, I'm telling you. Let me make this a bit small. Hold on. Let's make this fit. There we go. That's still not the best plane I've ever seen. You know, I mean, it's better than the last one was, but I mean, the windows, I mean, is it the UV wrapping and the wings still look a little bit, I mean, it's closer. It's closer. What would you change? What would you change about this plane? Like, how do we make this, how do we get an image that gives us a better plane? What do we need for a decent looking joyride plane? Is it just that it's not high resolution enough? You know, do we need to crisp up the details? Bought from a storage auction. Yeah, this is a garage sale plane. This is a discount. This is a bargain bin plane. It's still got a person in it. You can't really see him. Yeah, I'm not convinced on it. I'm not convinced on it. Storage auction plane. All right. I mean, you know what I want then. So let's turn this to ply. Let's give this a download. Can we rerun this one? How do we rerun? No, that's this node, but can I run a specific node? Yeah, cool. So we can get a ply thing. We'll download that into just downloads for now. And then I'll go to Claude. And if we go to our project here and we open up our interactive flight tower simulator, and then we drag our downloads, this one, and put it there. And then we say, can you, we added a .ply file, which is a Gaussian splat. I don't know. It's like a 3D model of a plane. Can you add an option for us to toggle the plane in the game to this model? And toggle back, because it looks a bit weird, but let's give it a go. I feel like for static objects, like game assets, if you wanted like a street lamp. Oh, let's turn this off. If you wanted like a street lamp, I think this would be awesome for it, right? Like, okay, now make me a reference image for a street lamp. Yeah, for like static stuff, like we made a bed before and the bed looked sick, right? Timo 3D model from Pandas. Only if he's got the devil horns. Goddamn Timo. You know anything about Timo is he's strong at the moment. Like he's actually really good with the static shift changes where he can like electrify the whole wave. So he's got the pushing power. Little bastard. But it's good to play Timo and not have him be like scrap. This is gonna do too much, I think. This is like too much reference image. No. Just one image. Just one image centered, please. I mean, this is nice. This is like an actual reference image. It gave me what I asked for. It's just not, I'm not good at asking for what I want. We want like a single reference image, not like a reference set of images. This is what like an artist will give you when they design something to be like, this is what we made, right? Looks professional. But not what I want. Not what I want right now. Anyway, while that's generating. What did we get? We got SQL bot data in runtime. We got what do we get? Frontier, active session, attached session frontier. Attached session frontier goes to frontier.ts. We have a new frontier.ts under session that observes different chunks. So it creates a table for frontier chunks. Closed. This is checking if our connection is closed. Yeah, so this is like a session frontier session chunking thing. So we say count star is count from frontier chunks, observed chunks, last observed chunk is this one. Last observed chunk is that. What do we use that? So we always track the last observed chunk we saw. Why? Why do we see that? Status? Do we use that anywhere? Frontier. Status is going to be that. Frontier status. I don't know if we use that last frontier chunk at all. So I feel like it's adding options that I don't know if they have a place for us yet. You got the 3D model even cleaner. You realized you sent you an image. You thought you sent me an image, but you didn't. I saw your cell shaded character model. That was pretty cool. Also, yeah, if anyone has any like questions or like things that they want to know more about, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Don't be a stranger. I'm happy to talk about anything. While we get our street lamp and we see if we can get a 3D image of this. Alrighty, cool. Oh. It knows Tripo Splat. It knows. It knows where it's from. All right. We downloaded a new file. Let's see if we can get a street lamp. I think that this kind of technology is awesome for static images. So if we run our street lamp here, what can we see? What can we find? Dorito, how you doing? What is happening? We are doing a bunch of stuff. The actual thing that we're trying to do in the stream is to create an ability for our bot that's happily working off in the background to explore frontiers. I got block collection working to a point that I'm happy with it for now, in terms of it being able to reliably collect blocks and gather drops. And we solved some of the technical issues trying to do that. But if we say go and find wood and there's no wood to find, I mean, ain't too much you can do then, right? So the next thing we need to get our bot to do is basically go and hunt for like trees. So we need some exploration capability. Building an MCP server so that AI could use that MCP server to play the game, and also have some like helper mods. So like the tests are rendered. I've got this mod that basically like renders the tests that we're running in this game, and we're just running in a loop. But if we wanted to run a particular test, like go on mine diamond, right? we can run that particular test and then watch him. Well, actually, diamond's shit because it's dark. Iron. We can watch him go and like mine iron and like give him that test. And so this gives us an ability to like iterate and like test the particular actions we're making. And the actions themselves, the bots are not running commands in Minecraft. They're using Mindflayer, which is a JavaScript framework for doing bots that can use Minecraft. So they figured out how to talk the same language that Minecraft server uses to communicate with the client, and they re-implemented it with JavaScript. So you can build these bots in JavaScript, right? Is this AI training or AI testing? At the moment, this is AI testing, and it's mostly passing, right? It's more showing the mechanism I use to build out the action layer. So I'm using AI to help build this MCP server, but I'm being a lot closer to the code. I had like a much more advanced version of this before I rebuilt it, because I was like, no, I'm too far away from how the code actually works and want more like ownership of it. And so I'm building this rebuild of it a lot slower and making a lot more decisions about what I include in it. And we've got collect block. So where is it? We got this implemented, yes, but I need to implement the rest of these things again, basically drawing on how we implemented it last time, to eventually give our AI the ability to do all of the things in the game as a human would, right? Because right now it can't. That's what we're building. Collect blocks, explore frontier, and then we'll do crafting, hunting, and sleeping. The idea is then the AI can use an MCP server. Crafting was surprisingly easy. Like, look up a recipe, you put down a crafting table and craft an item. And if you don't have the materials, you just say like, you can't craft that thing, right? So like, I think crafting for an AI is more just being clear about matching the materials up properly. Like if you craft a bed, you can use any wood. Yeah, you look it up, right? So the AI gets given like, hey, I want to craft a wooden axe. And then the MCP server is going to come back and say, you can't craft a wooden axe because you don't have any planks. And then it goes, oh, I want to craft some planks. And then the MCP server would come back and be like, well, you can't craft planks because you don't have any logs. And then the AI is going to be like, well, I'll go and get logs, right? So we're trying to build that layer where it gives a bit more information and good error messages and kind of a good base of information back to our bot in a reasonable way. Hunting definitely is going to have mob tracking. The harder part, because I did a whole version of this before and streamed like 3 bots playing the game and like running into issues, and it was always like the little things that they ended up getting caught on and stuck on. And so I'm taking it slowly, so I run into those little things again and again within scenarios and like a deterministic layer like this, where I can like work through in detail what those little things actually are. Hunting, the hard thing was dealing with hostiles. So if you're playing in a survival world and a zombie starts coming at you, like, come at me, bro, coming at you, you need to interrupt what the bot's doing and handle the hostiles. And the way that you handle them depends, right? From a creeper, you run away. From a zombie, you just punch them to death. From a skeleton, you need to either use cover to avoid them or have a shield and like stop them. And so depending on what you've got, what kind of like policy you want to like take to these different monsters depends on what you do with them, right? So that's what we're doing, and I'm doing this a lot slower than I was before when I was purely vibe coding, because I want to understand all of the detail and then have opinions about it. You vibe code too much and your code ends up turning into unmaintainable garbage because you don't know how any of it works and you don't have any ownership of how these things fit together, right? So we are vibe engineering it, and we're going through and we're actually like making design decisions about how things work. For instance, we've got a SQL Lite instance because I wanted to make an MCP call where it could look up information about the world using a SQL interface. That may not be a good idea, we'll see. And we, through this kind of session that manages the SQL instance that we use, we attach a session frontier. So we say, we've got a SQL bot data. We want session tracking on that SQL bot. We're going to create the table. We're going to do a bunch of these things. One of the things we keep track of is a last observed chunk. Why? Why did the AI add last observed chunk? Where else is this referenced? What is this being used for? Do we need to maintain it? Do I care about it? We keep track of it. We attach it. We return it, but we don't use it for anything, right? We just say, hey, here's the status and here's the last chunk that we saw. But like if you explore, like if you walk to the edge of the map and you see more of the map, you'll get a whole set of chunks. So like, why do we care about just the one chunk? I don't think we do. So I think this is like useless, right? And so this is where code that AI generates is not necessarily code that you actually want in your code base or doesn't serve a purpose. But if you leave it there, when you vibe more stuff on top of it, that code stays there. And then your AI keeps on treating it as if it's like deeply required, right? And then cleaning it up becomes a time-consuming, annoying mess. And so I'd prefer to go slow and go right for building something that's a bit bigger. And keeping track of what's actually happening rather than just vibing my cares away, right? That's especially on like a new domain, right? I'm not like a veteran of writing TypeScript programs for stuff. And so I'm getting used to the language as I'm going. Types and interfaces and like union types and like the pattern matching stuff, all of that jazz. So it's better to go slow. Go slow as you're building out stuff and understand what the hell is going on, right? That's the gist. So we're going to complain to Codex. I'm going to say, hey, we attach at the moment last observed chunk on our status message that we're outputting. We keep track of the number of observed chunks so far, which could be fine. We can find maybe use for that. But the last observed chunk, I think, is misleading and at worst just problematic because we don't use it for anything. We just return it as a status message. But when you explore and you observe chunks, you're probably going to observe a set of them. It's probably better to have like an event handler if we want to say that we just ingested like new chunks that our bot can emit or can basically like our chunk observer can use to opt out our bot. But to be honest, like right now, I think it's probably easy to keep it simpler. Just like nuke last observed chunk completely. Let's keep it simple. Let's add the complexity when and if we need it, unless you have a different reason for adding it that we're going to rely on later in our plan. But argue with me. Be argumentative. And that's what we tell it. Do I work in this field or is it just a fun project? I mean, I work in general AI field. Like I build machine learning models and I do analyses and I work in like the technical field generally, but not in games development, not in AI logic development, and not in Minecraft. Definitely not in those fields. So generally speaking, yes, but specifically this, no. This is like a thing of interest because it is unrelated to what I do. Good question. But I've been building like machine learning and AI models for like years and years, like since long before ChatGPT. Why are you still awake, pandas? I thought you were going to sleep. Still up. Status now contains only observed chunks and error. Good. The last chunk reflects packet delivery order, not travel direction, frontier progress of the bot's direction. It would look meaningful while answering none of them. So then it agrees. So I say, it doesn't make sense to include. And it goes, yeah, I agree. Go rid of it. Codex beckons your name. Pandas, you are in real time, like demonstrating what AI mania is doing to people. AI is like keeping you up. Have you seen all the memes about like, like, me, my girlfriend, Claude meme? Have you seen these ones? My project, Claude Cord. Are you sure? Yes. Nah, this one. Me, ChatGPT. No, none of these. None of these. I see like one's like this, but it's like your girlfriend being like, oh, come to bed, baby. And you're like, but Claude. Oh, man. Is Codex Claude Code? Codex is the ChatGPT version of Claude Code. So this is ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT Codex. It does many of the things that Claude Code does as well, just with ChatGPT models, not Claude. So generally, you're going to go one or the other, unless you're paying for both subscriptions. And who would do that? I would. And so this is Claude, and so we can test both. We could use Claude Code in our project, or we could use ChatGPT in our project. And if we run out of credits in one, we can switch to the other one. Easy as that, right? You'll see that Claude Code is in the process of adding a adding a 3D splat into a game that we made, and checking that it works well. And so this is what Claude Code is doing with extra thinking. And then our ChatGPT was editing our file to remove out that particular argument that we didn't need, like the last chunk, right? Error, go through it, try. Prepare changes, error, cause, instance, chunk, inserted, data transaction. This one. Does this capture it? What does this do? Transaction, this one. Runs it. It seems like the weirdest error handling syntax. Why would you do it like this? We run a transaction, runs to there, inserted. If inserted that, then set it to that. Catch any error, set it there. And then... Oh, is this like closure manipulation? Because this record thing runs until there, and then the error is available afterwards, and then the error is used here. I see. This is like some closure nonsense. Let's get ChatGPT to explain it. I don't want to hear it. Get Codex, Panda. You'll love it, Panda. You'll get so many resets. Also, jokes on you. Panda is single, bachelor life. That's all right. You can play those memes with your projects. Come back to us, Panda. Don't you want to build this game without AI? And you're like, but Codex. Alrighty, let's ask it. This error handling is some closure magic, right? So we can return the variable, and it will reference the error when and if there is one. Seems messy? No? I have 0% usage, but Codex is still working. There's a man possessed. This Panda. Closure, fairly ordinary JavaScript, TypeScript, closure state, attach session error at frontier, create these variables once. Event handler record, updates them later as chunks load. Yep. So record is run whenever we load a new chunk. We get the corner of that chunk. Corner.x divided by 16. I'm curious, why do we divide it by 16? World offsets? Is it multiplied by 16? Is it because we want to track the chunks like 1 by 1 by 1 because the chunk is 16 by 16? Why do we divide our chunks by 16? We're having them numerically indexed. And this is where you start thinking about design decisions. So you have a 16 by 16 block and you'll get your chunk in world coordinates, but what this is doing is recording them as chunk coordinates. So it's going to have like chunk 1, 2, 3, rather than chunks like 16, 32, 48. So I'm like, is that... Why don't we just store them as 16? Is that standard? Why not just store them in world coordinates? Maybe it does. Maybe we load both. So let's check what we're actually like loading into this table. We're loading a chunk X and a chunk Z, right? Minecraft uses X, Y, Z coordinates. So your X and Z are actually your like flat, like if you look top down bird's eye view, you're seeing X versus Z and your Y is the height. So Y goes up to, I don't know, whatever it goes up to 250 or 128 or something, and then goes down below the ground to where it hits the bottom of the world. So chunks they span every Y, and they occupy 16 by 16 XZ square. That's why we worry about this dimension. This exists because Minecraft has different dimensions. So you've got like the overworld. This is like this bit where it's green and you're above the world. If we go through a nether portal and we go into the hell kind of looking place, that is, I think, dimension 1, or at least it's a different dimension to the overworld. And then the end, I think, is another dimension on top of that, right? So our chunks exist per dimension. And we got to first observe that. So we are only keeping a little bit of information at this point in this file. This is quite nice, very minimalistic. I like that. And our recorder thing here is recording fairly minimal information. We literally run it. Oh, let me close this. Let me close this and close this. We run it and we just store chunk dimension, chunk X, chunk Z, and the date that we saw it. That's it at the moment. This is Minecraft. Hey, good question, Jet Pinky. Which Minecraft version is this? This is version 1.21.4, which is just new enough to give me some of the headaches around block tagging changing over some of the specific versions. And there was another thing that happened like exactly in this version. Yeah, player updated. I got a pull request into one of the is it Prismarine block? No. I think it's just, is it Mindflayer directly? No, it's the other one. It's Prismarine Minecraft data. Prismarine JS Minecraft data. So I raised a pull request the other day and actually got it merged. So I am now an actual contributor on one of the, oh man, oh wait, Twitch ads are on. Twitch ads are on. All right, I'll wait till Twitch ads finish up. All right, hold. Goddamn ads. So hopefully ads are over. You're back. You're back. Hoping so. Ads ahoy. Ads are done. Welcome. Hopefully you're back now. Hopefully you have returned from your venture offwards. All right, so ads are gone. I am an actual contributor to one of the Prismarine JS packages, Minecraft data. They have this idea of features where they manually add a set of things that different versions of Minecraft support. And then if you want to change something that's conditional on a version, like you want to add some feature or change how these libraries work, you actually wrap a supports feature call to this file rather than just putting the logic in with versions. And so I did that because my tests were failing. If I ran my tests straight after the bot loaded, so you know how bot loads here and then it just starts doing stuff, like it starts mining like pretty much straight away. These tests were failing, and I was like, what the hell is happening? Why is my Minecraft bot not like working? And it turns out in this version, 1.21.4, they added this idea that after your bot loads, the game is meant to send the server a message to say, player loaded. And after player loaded has been sent, then the world starts saying, all right, cool, now you can do actions. But if you try and like interact with a block or open a crafting table before you send a player loaded, it doesn't work. Like you just like time out or it like fails, right? And so you'll run these tests and you'll be like, well, why isn't he like doing the thing that like works? And it's a timing thing. If you waited 4 seconds, the server has like a grace period and then it's like, I'm sure he's loaded now. And so it will work if you wait long enough. But if you try and do it within those like first 4 seconds on this version upwards, it just fails. And so like me and Codex tracked this down, used it to resolve a failing test. Then I'm like, cool, I need to add this into the actual Mindflayer, which is the the main library that lets you do JavaScript Minecraft bot stuff. And so I've got a pull request here as well. But it required that other Minecraft data thing to be updated. And so this one basically has this line, if bot supports feature, sends player loaded packet. So this pull request required that other pull request to be merged, which it is, and so this one needs to be merged, and then it sends this in the main branch. But of course, like, this is open source contribution locally. As I'm developing this stuff myself, I'm like, it's fine. I'll just use my own version of Mindflayer that already has this built into it, right? And so we're messing with the dependencies that we have. All of this to say, right? If you're using AI to build stuff, you're not building everything from scratch. You are depending on other libraries and other things working. And sometimes they don't work. And if you're too far away from the tech and the code, like, how are you meant to know that? How are you meant to contribute back? How are you meant to fix stuff? And if you did want to contribute to something bigger than yourself in GitHub, how do you know that? Like, you still want to learn tech. If you can do something cool with vibe coding, the coding part is the bit that enabled it. The vibes part is just like the AI plugging stuff together. But there is still incentive for you to learn, and you should learn, and you should ask questions, and you should get closer to it. A good thing to do is ask for your AI agent to quiz you on the code base and say, hey, how does this work? And then you'll fail a bunch of questions, and that's incentive to go and ask some of those questions and learn a bit more than you knew yesterday. So I would encourage you to do that if you're vibe coding anyway, which, given you're here, you likely are. You're likely vibing some codes. Continue. Just do it thoughtfully. Learn a bit, you know? They say you learn until you die, and you're not dead yet, so don't stop learning. That's my message. It's my message to you today. And for us, we want to learn why we should store in chunk coordinates rather than block coordinates. Normally indexed as chunk X, chunk Z, with each index covering a 16 block wide area. Chunk indices make the intended unit explicit and are smaller / easy to work with for chunk neighbors. Gotcha. This table records which chunk columns has the bot observed. Gotcha. Okay, so we're happy leaving this in chunk coordinates, not block coordinates. What we do want, though, is probably a view that multiplies these back out to make it easy to look up block coordinates. But we could do that on the fly. That's just like computational in SQL, which is a good thing about having it in SQL, is virtual derived stuff is a lot easier to just materialize on the fly in SQL, which is quick. The second thing that we want to do is probably we want to, as part of recording our chunks, or even from day one, record a set of, like, I guess, the materials that are discovered in this chunk. And it should probably be like a unique, like a set of materials that wouldn't be common. So things like stone, dirt, cobblestone, deep slate, maybe water. We probably don't want to capture because we'll just like be purely duplicating that across everything. Maybe the same for coal and iron. I guess that's pretty much in every chunk ever as well. But then things like, you know, types of wood, types of the logs in the area. I don't know, if there's prismarine blocks or, you know, like special, like unique blocks that are only going to, you know, pop up on some chunks when they're appropriate, things like that. We do want to keep track of those so that we can later on query them as well. And we also want to keep track of the biomes observed in a particular chunk so that we can do searches on what the closest biome is and then just compute that as like a distance function eventually, you know? But for now, let's improve the other things that we capture during the chunk, and also time it and capture how long it took to do the scan and the load phase, and store that in the DB as well, so that we can optimize that if we get too ridiculous on like what we're looking for. Like if we have to iterate every single block in the entire chunk to be able to capture some of these unique things, it's probably, we're going to have to think about how to optimize that. So let's time it as well. This could be too expensive if we're doing this. We are doing it async though, but have a look at it. And so that's the rubber. That's what we want to do, is think a little bit, capture the data we need to make decisions going forward, and design for the information we actually want our bot to get out of the game. I'll extend the same session node hook, but blah, 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 blah. Yes, go and do that. Go and do that. Go and do that while I watch our bot chop down a tree. Whee! Can he reach it from there? Oh, he can. Dude, what a dude. This bot go, man. Oh no, he's mined the bottom one, so he's going to have to build upwards to get the top one this time. Hold. Anyway, we had a fun stream. I'm going to wrap up. I think I've got other things to do today as well. So I'm gonna let my SQL Frontier exploration code capture a little bit more information. Chunk column load loaded, it does this, good. We're going to capture a couple more things into this so that when we explore chunks, we have useful information for actually querying to see things about these chunks. And then we're going to store all of this, test it, design a scenario probably where we go and have to explore to find some, you know, some new material, like put some oak trees over there and some birch trees over there or something like that, and then call our chunk loading thing to go and find it. So we'll do that. We'll do that, check that it works. And then I'll probably go on to the next thing. It'd be good to get collection, crafting, and frontier exploration all working, and then we could have our bot basically just have one of the scenarios drop him into an actual world on peaceful difficulty, and then run a couple of the tests and just seed it and just watch that actually run. That could be one of our scenarios. We could run whatever scenarios we want, and then probably do a bit more work on this scenario thingy so that we can. Oh, hold on, I made that full screen. Probably do a bit more work on this scenarios thingy so that we can do some of those actual open world exploration scenarios as well. But that's the goal. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me, fam. We got some Minecrafting going. We got some bot development. I want to do some more frontier work, and I probably want to have a look at this player engine thing that Morwix was showing us. Player engine, this one that Morwick was sharing with us, that this exists, because this is a very similar project to what I am also engaged with. So I think it'd be cool to break this apart. And what I'll probably do is give the GitHub, because here's a project. What is it about? What does it have? What are they good at? What do they use? What do they do? It's a Java project, so it'll run actually in the client or in the server. They've also cloned Baritone, which is the best pathfinding plugin there is. Has heaps and heaps of features. This is the reference plugin, and so they've forked a version of this to be able to do a bunch of the pathfinding. That's this is a really important part of actually building bots, and so they're building on a very strong base of pathfinding logic, which is good as well. ChatClef, innovative mod by Player 2 that connected an AI to a player's client, or groundbreaking and had significant limitations. When I tried multiple instances of it, this was cumbersome. Player Engine solves this problem by moving the logic to the server and decoupling player-like abilities from the player entity class itself. True framework, any motto, grant their custom living entity the soul of a player. Yeah, so I want to have a look at this, see what's going on, and see how far along it came. It doesn't look like this has been touched in a year. It looks like it was a project that was done at a point in time and then stopped. And it was done at the Player 2 AI Game Jam. So I'm gonna do a bit of research to see how far this came and see if there's anything I can borrow from the logic that this thing used, which will basically be me saying, hey Codex, here is an existing project, do a bit of research, break down what's in here, break down where they shine, break down where they struggle, find any media related to it, and I'll do some searches as well, and then, read up about it. we're not replacing what we would do with AI. We're enhancing it. AI enhancement. Cool. But appreciate you coming and hanging out. Love you all. I'm gonna hit a Twitch raid. I'm gonna find somebody maybe small in software, games, and development to give some love and attention to. Oh, actually, before I go, did we get an actual aircraft here? Takeoff? Oh my god, it's our dodgy ass plane. Chat, look. It doesn't have a flying propeller, but that's the actual model. This is the wonkiest 2D to 3D image render that you can possibly imagine. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. That's awesome. That's awesome. Look at this thing. This is dodgy as hell. Gentlemen, the state of AI 3D modeling in 2026. But you watch, the fact that you can fully AI generate this in like 2 minutes, like a model like this, dodgy as it is, this stuff advances pretty quickly. It's not going to be dodgy for too long. We are going to be having AI generated assets that look good. The scary part is if you start being able to AI generate assets that are close to what a human designer would do in like a fraction of the time, things are unlocked and then people are mad and people have feelings. AI just results in a lot of feelings. A lot of feelings, a lot of people. I get that. As somebody whose entire profession is like an AI, AI is becoming just part of it by default. Finding bugs, dealing with corporate things, changing code, responding to changing requirements as quickly as the requirements change. It's like you can't keep up unless you're doing AI, right? Building models, analyzing data. It's a different world out there, fam. It's a different world. All right, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Let's raid someone. Let's find someone to raid. We are gonna raid not one of the top people. That's no fun. Dev Knight, Bin Bash. Love a bit of Bin Bash. Team Bash. Rated them before. Gemini 2.5 flashlight Python. Looks like stock trading. Speedrunning building my first horror game. Old school RPG dev. Go.wildjam. A lot of game dev. Crazy that. Imagine game dev being in the game dev category. Let's do making music for my incremental mining game. Oh, I love an incremental mining game. Let's do that. Let's do that. And it's an Aussie. Yo, Diggs Dev. All right, cool. We're going to raid Diggs Dev. Diggs Dev. Thanks for joining me, chat. Love you lots. Keep safe out there. Vibe hard. And feel free to come and join us on Discord, which has a link that I can share as well. Copy. There we go. Put that there. And then we'll raid Diggs Dev. And I'll see you next time for more stream. Hopefully, we'll have Frontier exploring. And then I can show you what, a bot exploring the frontier. The frontier of Minecraft looks like. All right. See you next time. Keep safe. Love you lots. Bye, 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 bye. And we will raid in 3, 2, 1. Bye.